Hallelujah. We're going to talk about deception. Genesis 3:5. That's the first part of it, we can say, the snake, the serpent. And we're going to talk about Rachel, Jacob's wife, the one he loved, the one he wanted to originally marry, the only one he wanted to marry, but ended up being raped by Leah. And, still ended up marrying Rachel. Her father did divination and had household small gods's and idols. I would just say them idols or whatever. But basically doing things outside of what the Bible speaks to do. He was practicing divination, have those household things. And, Rachel, died kind of early. She couldn't conceive children for quite some time, and then God blessed her and allowed her to conceive children. Laban, her father, was very, very, very mean and very demanding and controlling. Even his daughters complained, and Jacob was fleeing with them, which were his wives now, and their children, because Laban deceived him. So it seemed like in his household, including with Rebecca, who was Jacob's mom, had that same characteristics of deception, and Jacob's name also meant deceiver, and God changed his name to Israel. Rebecca, his mother, whose brother is Laban, she had her son and deceived her husband, his father, by pretending he was Esau to steal his own brother's birthright. I mean his own brother's blessing. Let that sit for a second. Deception. So Rachel, Laman, that whole family is one deceiving family. Isaac, no. Abraham and Sarah's son Isaac, no. Nope. But his wife's household, Rebecca and them, yes. I don't think Isaac, well, maybe he found out. I don't think the scriptures even really say if he found out his wife was in on it. But God brought peace in the situation. But deceiving his wife, Rebecca, he told his mom. He said, "Listen, he was like, what if Dad finds out? What if his dad Isaac found out that he was deceiving and pretending he was Esau, his brother? Then he said he might curse him. He's terrified almost, I think it was her whole idea because she was angry and her husband was angry, Isaac, about Esau marrying the Hittite women. He had 2 wives and they were Hittites. And they were angry. And she overheard her husband Isaac telling Esau to go get some game, go hunt and go get some game and prepare the meal. He's going to give his blessing before he leaves this world. Because he was old age and he couldn't really see well because of his age. He was dying. And she overheard and told her son Jacob to steal that blessing. And helped him. Made him smell like his brother. Prepare a meal like his brother. Have a meal that his brother was told to make. She made it, I want to say. And have him to present that. And goat's hair in his arms and his neck so he can be hairy. Because Jacob wasn't hairy, but Esau was. Had him put his clothes on. Say his name was Esau. He had to be a deceiver. And his wife and his mom told him to. See what I'm saying? Rebecca's brother is Laman, who Jacob told him, listen, Isaac, and so now God brought some level of peace, but Rebecca told him, his mom said, listen, leave here till your brother's anger subsides, because you're going to have to flee here. Isaac and, his father Isaac, their father Isaac and Rebecca released and sent their blessings for Jacob to go with her brother Laman and get him a wife. A wife, not wives. He goes there. The first woman he sees that's of his uncle is Rachel. He kissed her. He wept. He helped her with the flock, watering them and all this other stuff. She ran to the house to tell her dad. He was running things. Laman was running their lives too. And so Jacob told, and this is in the book of Genesis. Jacob told, and Laman got word about his nephew Jacob is coming, and he's coming down to stay with him and get a wife, and to have a wife and get a wife. Want to say he's a virgin, everything, Esau has his wives, but Jacob don't got a wife. He haven't been with a woman. So we're going to take it he's a virgin, and he is going down there, and he got the blessing. Laman obviously got word on that. The blessing's on Jacob. He's going to stay with you. Perhaps he found out, Esau's angry because, maybe he didn't hear all the details, but Jacob is coming to stay with you. He needs a wife. I think that was the instruction. Maybe he didn't know anything else other than that. But read the Bible to get more detail. We're just talking about it. Genesis 3:5. The serpent deceived. You will be like God if you eat it. Mixing truth with lies. Enticement. Temptation. Words. When you're dealing with people, you gotta be real careful with your words. Wise as a serpent, God said. Be wise like a snake, but gentle and harmless as a dove. You had, you're dealing with a layman, You got to be specific and in detail and don't trust nothing. But he was so much saying to his, so he was hungry he had an appetite to be with his wife and to make love. Perhaps that was clouding his judgment a bit, because he's pretty much kind of sharp, because he's a deceiver. He was even saying, when you lead a little, just to jump a little further ahead in the future in this Genesis story, he was afraid that Laman might get to a place, because he's changed up on him. He was already not the nicest anyway, the deceiver. You can't call him nice, right? That don't sound like good fruit at all. But then he got to a place where he really switched up on him, and God said, go back to your father's household. Back to where your father's peoples go at. Go back there. Go back. Leave Laman's environment. Leave. Boom. And Jacob says to him, he was afraid that he might try to take his wives from him. Heck yeah, he probably did that. Like, nigga, you do this or I'll take your wives and your kids. You see what I'm saying? He told him he worked for his uncle for free. His uncle said, hey, listen, I know you family, but, tell me what you want to get paid for. You're doing all this work. He said he just wants to marry Rachel. He was in love with Rachel. He's told him he will work. He told Uncle Laman he will work 7 years for her. Free work. Listen, imagine this. Laboring, working for free to marry Rachel. Specifically said Rachel worked 7 years for her. Laman said, you the one. Yep, sure enough. No one else should have her. No other man. No, you definitely. That was the agreement. Now the 7 years is completed. He goes to his Uncle Laman. He said, I want my wife. That's his wife. Time is completed and he wants to make love. He's specific. He wants to make love. He waited 7 years. He knows, if he didn't know, maybe he didn't know yet how his uncle can be. Maybe him saying, hey, I don't want you to be working for free, what you want? He tells him that. His Uncle Laman throws a feast for everybody, everybody gather together. And that night, he presents his daughter for him to consummate the marriage and make love. And then the rest of the week is going to be other ceremonies for this amazing couple, this amazing marriage, just amazing wedding. It's like a whole week or something. But he's making love the first day. He said he wants to make love, right? That's his wife. That was the contract right there. That was a marriage covenant contract right there. 7 years, wife, consummation. Let's go. I want to make love. At the feast, he goes. He makes love. In the morning, he wakes up and sees Leah and realizes he got deceived by his Uncle Laman. Rachel was the one. His uncle says, he said, you deceived me. He's angry. What you doing? He gives him Rachel. But then you got to work another 7 years for her. That was not the agreement. So he had to work a total of 14 years for this woman for free. Now he got 2 wives when all he wanted was one wife, and he was instructed to get one wife, and that was Rachel. But now he's seeing how Laman is. Maybe he felt like, well, shit, I can't mess around. He loves this woman. What he gonna do now? If he try to say no to Leah now, because he said, our custom is, you gotta marry, the older one gotta be married first. Well, how can you had 7 years to find a husband for her. You had 7 years. Leah raped him. She was in on it with her dad. It's very clear he made this agreement. That's his wife. Everybody knows that's his wife. Now the whole feast, didn't he mention his wife? I'm saying Rachel. Why is Leah in the bed at night with him? She ain't cute. Rachel is beautiful. That's his one he wanted. That he was in love with. Now he got 2 wives and deception. And then here goes Rachel. They decide, Leah and Rachel say, yeah, he's mean to them too. And da-da-da-da-da-da, you know. Because just think about it. Rachel, we're going to say there's no way she didn't know that this conversation happened with him and her dad, especially with the whole beginning phase showing how he helped her. Women know when a man wants you. He helped her going out his way. He kissed her and wept. And she went and told her dad. Like, yeah, I'm here to stay with you. I'm from this, kinsman, And he tells him this. 7 years. Didn't he have a conversation with his daughter? Also, on top of everything else, that's your husband? Now, he marries her, obviously. But now he got 2 wives. Now they got to share. The 2 sisters got to share the same man. And that's not even what the agreement was. But the conversation Jacob had with Laban, the conversation that he had, the second time, he said he wants his wife. Where's his wife? He should have said Rachel. Had he wasn't so hungry to be making love, perhaps he didn't drink. I don't know if he drank, but how was it he didn't know that was Leah? So there's a chance at the feast he was drinking. Maybe if you read it in the other version, they may specifically say that. But for so far, we just hear feast. What happens at the feast? They drink, right? I'm assuming. But he didn't know until the next morning. So she was deceived him. If there was not a drink, for whatever reason, he laid with Leah thinking it was Rachel. So perhaps wine was involved. It didn't say he didn't drink. It didn't say, because obviously he gave his father wine when he gave him the meal. Perhaps he had something to drink, wine, and perhaps also definitely Leah came in looking like her sister, disguised as her sister. Because how did he not know that was not his wife, Rachel? That's already his wife. That's why he specifically said wife. He should have also said his wife, Rachel. He could have specifically said, listen, I want my wife Rachel, and I want only her. Do not bring Leah, and there ain't going to be no gimmicks, right, sir? Because I said for her. Is there anything else? You see, when here's some wisdom. When you dealing with people, discernment, all this other stuff, listen. Close them loopholes and be specific. Be specific. This is my boundary. Okay, is there anything else I need to be aware of? Because look at further on in the future, this Genesis story here, Laban says, listen, let's have a monument and a covenant between God, before God, between me and you, that you will never have any other wives other than my daughters. This is what he commands of this this man, after all of that. He's still trying to be demanding. Like, okay, he's still kind of controlling. So he was getting ready to play some stunts, perhaps, where he was probably, nope, you got to do this, if you want to see them grandkids, them kids, or you want to, this, that, and the other. He said, a covenant, but, you got to make this covenant before God that you will not have no other wives but my daughters. And whoever else he was saying, perhaps. Read it for yourself. He was being specific. Because he's a snake. Wise as a serpent is be specific in your contract, in your agreements, in your everything. Trust God and let the Holy Spirit lead you, because in some cases you ain't got to worry about it. God's going to handle it. He's going to say, no, don't worry about it. Give it to me. But if he's giving you to handle something, have it wisdom. Listen, close them loopholes. Be specific. Now tell me, all right, this is how we do our weddings and where I'm from. Now, how y'all do your weddings? How does this go about? Okay, and I told you, Rachel. Okay, this, okay, that. All right, is there anything else? All right, let's write this. Let's do this covenant now. Listen, he said, let's build this monument or whatever, and this covenant before God. He could have did the same thing concerning Rachel. All right, that agreement was just an oral agreement. Specific. He didn't say not one time. Laman didn't say not one time. Oh, the oldest got to be mad. I mean, because Jacob could have been like I said in the other, recording video or whatever. I'm like, listen, Jacob could have prayed to God. They both could have prayed to God and say, Lord, Leah needs a husband. Because Rachel's mine. I'm going to work 7 years, God. She needs a husband. Or go find a husband for her. In that case, 7 years. 7 years to marry Rachel. 7 years to find a wife for Leah. So he already knew that's what he was going to do. Put Leah in that bed. Don't say nothing to this man or this cousin. That was something he should have said from the jump. Now, what does Jacob do now? He got kids with this woman. He could, listen, now just think his situation. Now, me personally, I ain't going to say what I wouldn't do or this, that, and the other, right? I'm not going to even do that, obviously, Thank God for Jesus, right? But just think of who in the Bible, if they were in his shoes, how they would handle it. Like, how would Daniel have handled this? Daniel's dedicated, nigga. Listen, you ain't even going to, he ain't letting you, he'd rather be thrown in the lion's den than to not pray. I think that law was just for one day. One day, Daniel, just don't pray. He'd rather be thrown in the lion's den than to not pray. So he's a good person to use in the Bible that had he been in Laman's shoes, that wouldn't have went down like that. He wouldn't have had 2 wives. If he woke up and Leah raped him, he would have prayed to his God. He would have got his Rachel, and that would have been the end of that. He would have got his Rachel. He would have, whatever he would have had to go, listen, he would have cried out to God and said, no, this is not my Leah. That wouldn't even happen because Daniel was praying. You know what I'm saying? But had that happened, he wouldn't have kept going in that direction with that. He wouldn't have kept going. I don't believe he would have went. He wouldn't have kept going in that direction with that. Because he was willing to be dead than to not pray for one day. Let alone having a whole wife and God said have one. He was a man of integrity and obedience to instructions, to God. Joseph is another one. He was running from Potiphar's wife. He fled. They had a certain stance about them. See, Jacob still had the name deceiver, so now, I'll say this, he got now, not at this moment, but he's probably thinking, okay, obviously Laman is something. In order for him to get this woman, and he got her now, but he got to stay and work these 7 years, and this man can just take these kids and take his wives and, and now he got this responsibility and he's willing to, he's taking on ownership, like, okay, this is, He's mainly ain't even spent no time with Leah, though. There's really nothing happening. He gets her pregnant. That's it. It's like, all right, you're pregnant. But he's with Rachel. It's all about love with Rachel. That's it. They married. Leah's just there. It didn't seem like he was mistreating her. But Rachel was also in control of the matter whether Leah could be with him or not. So they was all messed up. That whole situation. Leah's a rapist. Rachel is serving other gods outside of God of Jacob. You see what I'm saying? She's a thief. And she's a liar. And a deceiver. She sat there and lied, stole these things. You know what I'm saying? Sin is sin. That was just all messy. Just all messy. But God changed his name to Israel. And one of them wives died, and that was Rachel. Perhaps I'm like, oh, she had other gods though. She didn't steal her father's household gods to get back at him and say she's gonna throw it in the trash or something. He shouldn't be doing that. Practicing that. She steals him and hides it. And hides it under her. And don't tell nobody and lies to her husband. Don't even tell him. And he serves God. They speak Arabic. He speak Hebrew. See, Jacob is of the descendant of Abraham. Rebecca is married into that. But she's from Laman, that household, that family line. Who Laman is her brother, and that's how they get down. They don't even speak the same language, perhaps. You know what I mean? And Isaac, that was the wife God chose for him. But those ways were still in there. Isaac wasn't deceiving. He didn't do the kind of stuff his wife Rebecca did. And God made it clear. He always said in his word, the wives of the weaker vessel. Look at Adam and Eve, the weaker vessel. Rebecca, the weaker vessel. Sarah, the weaker vessel. Women are indeed. Why? Women are the weaker vessels. On all across the board. Weaker. Rachel deceived. Laman deceiver. Leah deceiver. Jacob deceiver. And that happened to him right after, the Esau deceiving thing. Was Esau deceiving? No. But Esau messed around and married 2 women. And they were Hittites also. And then he went and got a 3rd wife that was of the descendant of Ishmael, who was Hagar's son, who was the one that, that's the opposite of Isaac. That's Isaac's brother. He went to Isaac's brother, who Isaac don't even deal with, and got a wife. Now look at that part. So now you got Esau got his ways. You see what I'm saying? Which God is love. Once again. Look at his blessing. Look at his favor. He still blessed Esau. Still blessed Jacob. Changed his name to Israel. Still, blessed Rebecca. Still blessed Isaac. Still blessed, Rachel. Blessed her womb. She couldn't have children, then she was able to. She died giving birth to her second son, though. And Jacob got buried with Leah, and not where Rachel had got buried, because she died on the way to Bethlehem, I think it was, But there's some significance in that too. Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And perhaps her worshiping false gods, on top of saying she believes in that and in God. Because you didn't hear her throw them away, but you don't hear of her worshiping the idols. But indeed, she stole it and she hid it, and it was on her. So there you go. What does that mean? I wouldn't want to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? If she did it because to get back at him or whatever, she destroyed it. Plenty of time the Bible says, the kings, the God raised up, that he had instructed them to destroy those idols and things, tear down the Asherah pole and stuff like that. Tear down, destroy it, not take it, steal it, and hide it. And say you're on your period. So that's how you know you're doing something wrong, when you got to do all these other sins to go along with it. She wouldn't have had to hide and lie and just be deceiving about it had she took it and trashed it. But then again, God didn't instruct her to do that, then you don't do that. That's her father's stuff. That's the other thing. That's her father's stuff. Okay, if she's saying he ain't her father because he's a horrible person, it sounds like he was not a good dad at all. To even just think, you brought your Leah, her sister, your daughter, to sleep with her husband. You did that to your own daughter.
And then why couldn't both daughters at one point have kids? Like, what was you doing, Laman? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, was you trying to control whether they have kids or not? Because when you evil one era, you evil. You did that. He's very controlling. You don't tell a man how to run his life and his destiny. Don't have any wives but his daughters. After all that other stuff. Hello, sir. You the same one that had put a different woman in his bed? He was showing you his loyalty. Like, listen, I'm going to work. He could have said, can I have her now and work for you for 7 years? He was like, yo, I work for you for 7 years for your daughter. Okay, he's showing you dedicated 7 years is long. And I know they most likely was working hard. Them animals and all that stuff. Out in the field and who knows what. 7 years. He gave him his word and he did exactly. It's like he's a changed man, really, you know, if you think about it. He did not trick his uncle. Like, he really changed. Like, it sounded like he really made a change, though. He went there. He wasn't trying to be deceiving or nothing. He was fair about everything. But he kept that same wife, though. Maybe he felt like, he's getting away with it, I guess. And maybe he felt like, she got a kid. I mean, like I said, he still was just mainly with Rachel. It appeared like he was mainly with just her, though. Leah was just there. Like a baby mama living in the house. You know what I mean? Who every now and then, if she gets permission from her sister for her husband to sleep with him. Instead of saying baby mama, she the wife. She got a wife title too, but Rachel is the wife. Then he had the other 2 baby mamas, because Leah said sleep with her maidservant when she couldn't conceive at one point. And God had to bless, because it didn't say God closed up Rachel's womb. She couldn't conceive. Let's go to that part.
Because God saw that Leah wasn't loved, so was there a chance that she wasn't getting pregnant either? Let's go there. We're gonna go on the Message Bible version message. Let's see. That was 29. Let's go to 20. Nope, that's too far. Gotta go to 29, perhaps. Listen, they told him Isaac called in his Jacob and blessed him. Then he ordered him, don't take a Canaanite wife. Genesis 28. Leave at once. Go to Padam Haram to the family of your mother's father, Bethuel. Get a wife. That's the other thing, following the instructions. Isaac is a man of God. He is a son of the promised son of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He released this blessing on you, Jacob. He said a wife. So that's the other thing. He could have said, listen, Laman, my father gave me instructions. I can't have 2. I gotta have a wife. But he came up with something heavy saying, oh, this is our custom. So how do you tell a whole nation or a tribe of peoples to change their custom to fit you? But you did not say that. So he's dealing with, he don't probably want to mess up him marrying Rachel, So let's move. Listen. Let's go to 29, 9 through 13, Message Bible. While Jacob was in conversation with them, Rachel came up with her father's sheep. She was the shepherd. The moment Jacob spotted Rachel, daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, saw her arriving with his uncle Laban's sheep, he went and single-handedly rolled the stone from the mouth of the well, which is something earlier I believe they said it's supposed to take a couple of people to even move that. He went. Look, he went. Saw her arriving with his uncle Laban's sheep. He went single-handedly, rolled the stone from the mouth of the well, and watered the sheep of his uncle Laban. He went and helped move. Bam. Watered. He wants her. He likes her. He already is in love with her. Then he kissed Rachel. What did it say? He kissed Rachel and broke into tears. He told Rachel that he was related to her father, that he was Rebekah's son. She ran and told her father. When Laban heard the news, Jacob, his sister's son, he ran out and met him, embraced and kissed him, and brought him home. Jacob told Laban the story of everything that had happened. Nothing with Leah. Now, Laban had 2 daughters. Leah was the older, Rachel the younger. Leah had nice eyes, but Rachel was stunningly beautiful. And it was Rachel that Jacob loved. It was Rachel that Jacob loved. Leah had nice eyes, but Rachel was stunningly beautiful, and it was Rachel that Jacob loved. So Jacob answered, I will work for you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel. It is far better, said Laban, that I give her to you than marry her to some outsider. Yes, stay here with me. So Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, but it only seemed like a few days. He loved her so much. Then Jacob said to Laban, give me my wife. Why did he have to say it like that? As if he knew something was up. Give me my wife. I've completed what we agreed I'd do. I'm ready to consummate my marriage. That means they're married. That's his wife. Because that agreement settled it. Now he wants to consummate it. Why did he have to come and say it like that? Them 7 years working for him, he already knew what time it was. He knew something was up. Give me my wife. This is not the same type of conversation from earlier. Give me my wife. Listen to this is all he just said. Look at what Jacob said. This is all he said. Give me my wife. I've completed what we agreed I'd do. I'm ready to consummate my marriage. Would have been great to add in there, when you're dealing with a deceiver, is add in. He could have added in for him to give his wife Rachel, specific. Laban invited everyone around. Laban didn't respond. What did he do? Invited everyone around and threw a big feast. He did not respond with words. Okay, I'm going to make sure that happens, and he just goes and throws a big feast. At evening, though he got his daughter Leah. He got his daughter Leah, went and got her, and brought her to the marriage bed. And it almost seemed like he was mad and out of spite. He didn't even say nothing back to her. Oh, of course, son, nephew. Of course, Rachel, of course, what I have. You know what? Let's do something right now. There's nothing. He doesn't say anything. He invites everyone around, throws this feast, and go and get his daughter Leah. And brought her to the marriage bed. So they have a whole marriage bed. Brought her to the marriage bed. And Jacob slept with her. Laban gave his maid Zilpah to his daughter Leah as her maid. Not one time did he tell Jacob this custom. Not one time did he tell Jacob he was going to put Leah. Jacob made it very clear. It was already clear in the beginning. He was in love with Rachel. He already said he wanted to be with Rachel, and that was that. Morning came. There was Leah in the marriage bed. Where is Rachel? She didn't even get a chance to take her own husband's virginity. He knew something wasn't right because his response was so strong and so harsh and so direct. She got betrayed by her dad, Laban. Jacob got betrayed by that. He has to deal with what her heart is dealing with. And she has to deal with what his heart is dealing with. And Leah is the rapist. And Laban is also. And deceiving. Jacob confronted Laban. What have you done to me? Didn't I work all this time? So that's the other thing. He worked slave. He didn't get paid. Worked 7 years. Totally gave his word and fulfilled it. He's like a different man right now. He fulfills. Listen, he knows how to be deceiving. He knows how to play a game now. He kept his word. Right? Father gave his blessing, go get you a wife. He went, boom, he gave him his word, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Here, where's my wife? My time is completed. What we agreed to, completed. I want to make love to my wife. He wants to consummate his marriage. Consummate his marriage. That means they are married. So Rachel still was his wife. Still was his main wife. Still was his first wife. But he lost his virginity to Leah. She raped him. No. He still lost his virginity to Rachel. But he was raped by Leah. Because rape is not taken. If someone was ever raped, you didn't commit adultery. You didn't even participate in that. He thought the whole while he was having sex with Rachel. So in his mind and his experience, it was with Rachel. But he was raped. It was not valid consent. Rape is if it's not valid consent. She pretended she was Rachel in that bed. That's not valid consent. Had he known it was Leah, that would not have happened. It was supposed to have been who? Rachel. Jacob confronted Laban. What have you done to me? He raped you, Jacob. What did he do to you? What did he say? What have you done to me? Rachel didn't get raped. But you could say, because two become one, right? They married, right? But being specific, he said, what have you done to me? You did something to me. What did you do to me, Laban? He didn't even go to Leah about this. He went to Jacob because Jacob is the one who brought her there. But she still did it. Because she could have said, pretend, listen, I mean, Dad told me I didn't want to be here, but I'm not Rachel. Maybe she could have been afraid, but boom. But bottom line is she did it. She was in on it. It doesn't matter. Rapist and a rapist. What did Jacob respond with? What have you done to me? Jacob, you got raped. What did Laban do to you? He raped you, but his daughter's the one who performed it. Leah. Didn't I work all this time for the hand of Rachel? He gets specific. Didn't I work all this time? He did all of that. He worked hard. It felt like days to him. He's over here daydreaming and like, oh, love, my love. For this to happen. So it's like, so now he's probably even dealing with the thought that he's probably never even going to get Rachel. Because right now he don't got Rachel. His wife is Rachel. But physically, in the consummation of this marriage to be completed in this way, he's still hoping for his Rachel. What in the world is going on here? Didn't I work all this time for the hand of Rachel? Why did you cheat me? Why did you do that? That's what you agreed on. Then he says, We don't do it that way in our country, said Laman. We don't marry off the younger daughter before the older. Enjoy your week of honeymoon. He gonna tell him this. After he says all that, we don't do all that. Enjoy your week of your honeymoon, and then we'll give you the other one also. Enjoy your week of honeymoon. I guess their honeymoon went before the thing, you know. Enjoy your week of honeymoon, and then we'll give you the other one also. The other one. We'll give you Rachel. Enjoy your week of honeymoon. But it will cost you. Enjoy your week of honeymoon, but then we'll give you the other also. But it will cost you another 7 years of work. He enslaved him. Now he got to work 14 years for the wife, Rachel. The agreement was 7 years. Working for free now for 14 years. Jacob agreed, which is a risk because he could change it again. When he completed the honeymoon week, Laman gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. So the week, okay. Now if he didn't see it in a week, he probably like, all right, what's going on now? You got to work these 7 years, but I'll give her to you in a week. And just like he gave them, he can take them. Because he's so controlling like that. Jacob agreed. When he completed the honeymoon week, Laman gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laman gave his maid Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her maid. Jacob then slept with her. And he loved Rachel more than Leah. Now he's making love. Now that's powerful. I feel Holy Ghost on that. Jesus. He got raped the first time. And now, Jacob then slept with her. And he loved Rachel more than Leah. He worked for Laman another 7 years. Now he's making love. This is valid consent. Rachel took his virginity. He took Rachel's virginity. They made love. Leah raped him. But he got to work another 7 years for Rachel. But he gave it to us, so all right, he can wait. He can wait now. Because now Laman proved his word ain't his bond. So here's you do this week. Here's Rachel. And then worked them 7 years. But at least he got her. But what if he says he got his wife Rachel, now get back Leah? That's not what give me back Rachel. When God realized that Leah was unloved. So now listen, this is the part I wanted to see. So now he didn't have sex with Leah. She didn't get pregnant. He got raped by Leah. She didn't get pregnant. Rachel is not pregnant. Is Laman doing some stuff? Some divination stuff, trying to stop them from getting pregnant? What's going on? Leah and Rachel are barren. Why? Now, here goes. When God realized that Leah was unloved. Here go, look. He got, unloved. Listen, unloved meaning she ain't getting no love. Rachel's getting loved. Leah ain't. That means she got a title of wife. Right now, she ain't pregnant. We're going to read and see how this is worded. But she's not getting no love. I don't know how they live in that area. Perhaps Leah is in one house, and Rachel and Jacob is in another. And he's over there with his wife, Rachel. And Leah is by herself, unloved, but she got a title of wife also. But she's unloved. He loves Rachel and Rachel only. Leah is unloved. When God realized that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb. So her womb is closed. Why is her womb closed? She's unloved. That means it ain't even just Jacob. Listen, God didn't say here in reading it in Message Bible, he didn't say Leah is unloved by Jacob. Leah is unloved. When God realized that Leah was unloved. Was she loved by her dad Laban? Question mark. Was she loved by her sister Rachel? Question mark. Is she loved by Jacob? We know she ain't. Unloved. She is in a place right now where she is unloved. And God is what? Love. And he's demonstrating it now. When God realized that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren. So Rachel was barren. I want to say she's a woman who can't have children. But God realized Leah was unloved. He opened her womb. So Leah's not barren, but her womb is closed. So perhaps God closed it because of what she did. But he sees that she's unloved, and so he opened her womb. Or perhaps it was just closed. But obviously, for something to be open, that means it was closed. So how was it closed? A womb, God said he blessed them, multiply, really subdue. So having children is indeed a blessing. That God gives you this blessing. Because your womb could just be closed and or barren. What's the difference between closed and or barren? But he says when God realized that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren. He didn't open up Rachel's womb, but he did open up Leah's. Because we're gonna feed the when he does it. Let's skim down to let's jump over. So when she begins to have children, how is worded for her? Let's see. Okay. So listen, Genesis 30, 22, 24, Message Bible. And then God remembered Rachel. God listened to her and opened her womb. So both of them had their wombs closed. How and why was their wombs closed? When God realized that Leah, so right now, Leah rapes him, her womb's closed. Rachel gets married to him. Obviously, he has sex with Leah. She ain't pregnant, though. Rachel, she's having sex. She ain't pregnant. But Rachel's getting loved, though. She's loved. But Leah's unloved. So we're going to keep it on the romantic because that's what this here area is focusing on. But she's unloved. Regardless, the reality is she's unloved, and that's not good. There's no love getting to her. But God is love. He's showing forth his love. What you did was wrong. Your womb is closed. Rachel, your womb is closed. Jacob, you and Rachel's having this lovey-dovey love over here. Leah's over here unloved. He opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. He didn't open up her womb at the same time. As if, we're just going to read. Leah became pregnant and had a son. She named him Reuben. Look, it's a boy. This is a sign, she said, that God has seen my misery. You see how she's bringing God glory out of this? Perhaps she was seeking God and praying God. God realized that Leah was unloved. She said that God has seen my misery. God saw her misery. Even if she didn't say what, didn't even say she prayed. But God saw her misery. And a sign that now my husband will love me. So now she's thinking, her having a baby, now she got a kid, like, hey, she the baby mama now. You love her now? Now her husband. So imagine, you raped a man that was married. You raped your sister's husband. You got the title as a wife, but you're unloved. He doesn't love you. He loves her, and all she's seeing is him loving her, and her not. Can you imagine what that's like? Also, this is terrible. This whole situation is just really bad, all across the board. Sin is awful. Sin stinks. It's horrible. It's trash. She became pregnant again and had another son. God heard. She said that I was unloved, and so he gave me this son also. She named this one Simeon. God heard. How did God hear? That she was unloved. See God's mercy and his grace. She became pregnant yet again, another son. She said, now maybe my husband will connect with me. So now she used now in this here Message Bible, now maybe my husband will connect with me. I've given him 3 sons. Now it seemed like there's some love happening. But there's no connect. He's not connecting with her. He loves her she's birthed his children, like there's no connection. Maybe he'll connect with me. He's giving her attention. She's pregnant. We're assuming, right? Because now somebody about to be mad. That's what I'm saying. She's pregnant. He's showing her attention, right? But it's for the babies, It's a son. Oh, we got a son. Oh, yeah, Leah and Jacob got a baby. Leah and Jacob got a son. They got a son. Rachel ain't in on this baby. They don't make it like that, like a family. See how crazy this is? Just basically, this is an old school, classy baby mama situation. A wife with baby mamas. Just all living in one area or the same house. Who would, never mind. So now, and it never, you notice it don't work out? It really don't. Like, it just, somebody gets bad somehow. Hagar, get the hell. Listen, Sarah was like, Hagar acted up. Then when Hagar wasn't acting up, the daggone son was acting up. And these are going to be these same sons that Leah's getting, that's having, that's going to try to kill Joseph, Rachel's son. And it sells him into slavery, but let's just keep going. Now, maybe my husband will connect with me. I've given him 3 sons. That's why she named him Levi, connect. She became pregnant a final time and had a 4th son. She said, this time I'll praise God. Because now she's like, okay, maybe she's thinking she should praise God and stop trying to focus on this guy. Maybe. This time I'll praise God. So she named him Judah. Praise God. Then she stopped having children. Like only God is love you. See, look at good, great husband he is. He keeps showing up being faithful to Miss Leah. And she keeps trying to connect with her husband. God has allowed this to even still happen. in spite of what she did. But he's so full of mercy and grace and love. Now, look at it. Now, Leah's getting his attention with these babies. Jacob's showing some love now, because you don't hear she's being unloved. Now them babies stop now. She got 4 sons. She wants to connect, but now she's focusing on giving God praise. And now Rachel. And Rachel don't got no kids. So now this is like 4 years going. 4 or 5 years perhaps. Rachel's barren. She's making love. He's loving her now. Connecting, all that. But here we go. Genesis 31, Message Bible. When Rachel realized that she wasn't having any children for Jacob, she became jealous of her sister. They got the same husband. She's getting the babies, and this one 8. They got the same husband. Now look at what she speaks out her mouth. She became jealous of her sister. She told Jacob, "Give me sons or I'll die." That's what Rachel said, not me. Come on now. Jacob got angry with Rachel and said, "Am I God? Am I the one who refused you babies?" Rachel said, "Here's my maid Bilhah. Sleep with her. Let her substitute for me so I can have a child through her and build a family." She gave him her maid Bilhah for a wife, and Jacob slept with her. Bilhah became pregnant and gave Jacob a son. She was that jealous. Because her heart, let's just keep going. So she gave him her maid Bilhah for a wife, and Jacob slept with her. Bilhah became pregnant and gave Jacob a son. Rachel said, "God took my side and vindicated me. He listened to me and gave me a son." She named him Dan. Vindication. What does vindication mean? So it's like Leah's not feeling unloved anymore. Whew, okay. All right, now Rachel's having a problem. You know what I'm saying? She's ready to leave this world if she don't have some babies, some sons specific. And God vindicates her through her, she says, "Sleep with her maidservant." Like, should go with and obviously she didn't make this a main option. Because she sure enough didn't bring this up any other time. But she wanted a son this bad. Vindication means being cleared of blame, suspicion, or doubt, and shown to be right, justified, or innocent. Proof of righteousness, innocence, or truth about being doubted or accused. She named him Dan. Vindication. Rachel's maid Bilhah became pregnant again and gave Jacob a second son. Rachel said, I've been in an all-out fight with my sister. Now look what she said, and I've won. So she named him Naphtali, fight. So she's admitting she's been in an all-out fight with her sister. Let's rewind. Her husband is Jacob. He works for 7 years for their marriage to be consummated. She gets in the bed with her husband acting like she's Rachel and rapes her husband. And then she's unloved, and then she gets blessed with sons, and Rachel don't. It's a fight. If this fight is happening naturally, there's a chance it was happening spiritually. I mean, what was going on? She says she's been in an all-out fight with her sister. And she's won. So she named him Naphtali. When Leah saw that she wasn't having any more children, so now she's like, okay. She gave her maid Zilpah to Jacob for a wife. So now it's this back and forth thing. Okay, then she can't have no more now. Now she's like, okay, now her womb is closed again now. Now, so she gives Jacob to so she gave her maid Zilpah to Jacob for a wife. And Jacob's all in the middle of this there. Zilpah had a son for Jacob. Leah said, how fortunate. She named him lucky. When Leah's maid Zilpah had a second son for Jacob, Leah said, a happy day. So they're going back and forth fighting. When Leah's maid Zilpah had a second son for Jacob, Leah said, a happy day. Perhaps Leah was jealous of Rachel. There's all these men. Some other men. I mean, she could have snuck up and been in somebody else's husband or some other man's bed, and he could have woke up to a whole wife. I'm just saying. But Jacob, this big blessing is on him. He's blessed. He's chosen. Her sister hit the jackpot. Came straight to her. And they fighting. When Leah's maid Zilpah had a second son for Jacob, Leah said, a happy day. The women will congratulate me in my happiness. So she named him Asher, happy. One day during the wheat harvest, Reuben found some mandrakes in the field and brought them home to his mother Leah. So now this is some time. It seemed like some time because Reuben's seems a little older maybe. Rachel asked Leah, could I please have some of your son's mandrakes? Leah said, wasn't it enough? This is Leah's response to Rachel. Wasn't it enough that you got my husband away from me? So it shows you, look at Rachel ain't said much. You having these kids with your little maid servant. Okay, with my husband. Well, not my husband, but Rachel's, right? So I guess now she's keeping Jacob from seeing her altogether. Based on this, Leah said, verse 15, wasn't it enough that you got my husband away from me and now also want my son's mandrakes? Rachel said, all right, I'll let him sleep with you tonight. I'll let him. Because who was he in love with? Rachel. Who was his wife of all wives? Literally, Rachel. Does everybody know that? Yes. Rachel said, all right, and she had the right to that. Because Leah should have never been. And Leah's maid servant, but Rachel chose her maid servant to sleep with him. Maybe she wouldn't have. Maybe she would have had Leah not been in the picture in that way. She wouldn't have felt so bad and not trusted God concerning her own womb. But let's keep going. Rachel said, all right, I'll let him sleep with you tonight in exchange for your son's mandrakes. When Jacob came home that evening from the fields, Leah was there to meet him. And look at how she got to approach him. This is how you know he ain't her husband. Sleep with me tonight. I bartered my son. She bartered her son's mandrakes for a night with you. For a night. So he slept with her that night. Obviously he knew. Rachel said okay. That's a lot. Don't that seem like a lot? That's why who? Because listen, just listening to this. Who would want to have baby mamas on purpose, baby daddies on purpose, and definitely baby mamas on purpose? Either or, doesn't matter. And who would want to have multiple wives on purpose? Who? When Jacob came home that evening from the fields, Leah was there to meet him. Sleep with me tonight. I bartered my son's mandrakes for a night with you. So he slept with her that night. God listened to Leah. So God listened to Leah. Now in this part here, you don't hear that she had a conversation with God here. But obviously she must have had a conversation. And maybe she had a conversation that day. Like, she's going to sleep with him. And, God listened to Leah. He listened to her. She became pregnant and gave Jacob a fifth son. She said, God rewarded me for giving my maid to my husband. She named him Issachar, bartered. That doesn't make sense to me. Just like, me forgiving my maid? I need to understand that a little bit better. Let me read that in the King James Version. Trying to figure that out. Ooh. I'm gonna go to King James Version. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to Message, but I'm gonna go to Chat GPT to see what that means. And she said, God rewarded me for giving my maid. Stop doing it. I don't want the whole thing. Never mind. Just forget it. Because I'm not trying to highlight the whole thing. God has given me a let's go to NIV. Let me see if I can understand the NIV better. I just want to understand exactly what that means. Her maid? Because when did that part happen? That's where I'm kind of like, I don't know. Now you tell me the Bible ain't interesting to read. I mean, you know. Let me see. That thing I went to. Okay. Whoa. I don't think I need to be there. Okay. So in NIV it said, God has rewarded me for giving my servant to my husband. I guess there's just, that's what she's saying, but God listened to Leah. She became pregnant, gave birth to a fifth child. She said, God rewarded me for giving my maid to my husband. She named him Issachar. God wouldn't reward that. Like, God wouldn't reward that. God listened to her and she became pregnant, but God didn't reward her for that. For giving her maid to her husband? I mean, oh, no. No. I think, does that mean, forgive me, Lord. I think that means, is she talking about giving my maid to my husband? I don't know about that. That's, either way, this is the wording they're saying. This is real life people. And so, God ain't going to reward sin. But God listened to her. Obviously, she wanted to get pregnant, but this is what she's saying. So, when you read the Bible, it's going to have all kind of stuff in there. It's going to be events that took place, things that people said, right? Okay, we got deceiving happening. God don't deceive, but he's telling us what happened. So Leah became pregnant yet again and gave Jacob a sixth son, saying, God has given me a great gift. This time my husband will honor me with gifts. Hold on. Did I already say that? Okay, God rewarded me for giving my maid to my husband. She named him Issachar. Bartered. Leah became, but she didn't barter with, maybe it's being worded that way because she bartered with Rachel. She said yes. She was being nice to Rachel, if that's what she meaning. You see what I'm saying? I mean, she did approach, but anyway, we're just gonna keep reading. This time her husband will honor me with gifts. Hold on, so brought it. Leah became pregnant yet again and gave Jacob a sixth son, saying, God has given me a great gift. This time my husband will honor me with gifts. I've given him 6 sons. She named him Zebulun, honor. Last of all, she had a daughter and named her Dinah. And then God remembered Rachel. God listened to her. That means she's praying, crying out to God, and opened her womb. She became pregnant and had a son. She said, God has taken away my humiliation. She named him Joseph. Praying, may God add yet another son to me. After Rachel had had Joseph, Jacob spoke to Laban, let me go back home. Give me my wives and children for whom I have served you. You know how hard I've worked for you. Laban said, if you please, I have learned through divine inquiry that God has blessed me because of you. He went on, so name your wages, I'll pay you. Jacob replied, you know well what my work has meant to you and how your livestock has flourished under my care. The little you had when I arrived has increased greatly. Everything I did resulted in blessings for you. Isn't it about time that I do something for my own family? So what should I pay you? Jacob said. You don't have to pay me a thing, but how about this? I will go back to pasture and care for your flocks. Go through your entire, so then, that's a whole other thing. A whole other agreement they going right here. So something's going on with that. Verse chapter 31. Jacob learned that Laman's sons were talking behind his back. Jacob has used our father's wealth to make himself rich at our father's expense. At the same time, Jacob noticed that Laman had changed towards him. He wasn't treating him the same. Now, mind you, he wasn't treating him the best at all. He wasn't treating him good at all. And now he's saying he wasn't treating him the same. So it's worse. That's when God said to Jacob, go back home where you were born. I'll go with you. So Jacob sent word for Rachel and Leah to meet him out in the field where his flocks were. He said, I noticed that your father... So look at, he had to come up with a whole plan to get up out of there. So now you got all of that. Today is 2:50 a.m., August the 27th, Wednesday, 2025. I just looked at the calendar in my phone. Rachel, so skimming down 31 and 31:14 Message Bible. Rachel and Leah said, has he treated us any better? Aren't we treated worse than outsiders? They're saying, both daughters are saying they're being treated by their dad worse than outsiders. And they're saying, are they being treated any better? That he's worse bad to them. So they in agreement like, yo, they need to get up out of there. Now, Jacob was already saying, it seems like what we just read a little second ago. Jacob was already saying, like, listen, it's time for him to do his own thing with his own family. Like, and Laman was trying to say, oh, all this other stuff, it seemed like. But we kind of skimmed through that. We didn't even really get into that passage in that chapter. So read that for yourself if you want more information about that. But now things are at this level in Genesis 31. And then, so Rachel and Leah said, has he treated us any better? Aren't we treated worse than outsiders? All he wanted was the money he got from selling us. Look at it. All he wanted was the money he got from selling us. And he spent all that. Basically, he worked for them. So that's how he paid for his wives. Which he was supposed to just pay for one. He had to pay for 2 wives. Now that money's gone. And look how they responded. All he wanted was the money he got from selling us. Sold Leah, sold Rachel. So that means they knew about it. Leah knew about it. Rachel knew about it. But obviously, Rachel, it was all about love for her and her wife. You know what I'm saying? But we already talked about that. Any wealth that God has seen fit to return to us from our Father is justly ours and our children's. Go ahead, do what God told you. Jacob did it. He put his children and his wives on camels and gathered all his livestock and everything he had gotten, everything acquired in Padan Aram, to go back home to his father Isaac and land of Canaan. He's obeying God, but but he's doing it in a different way. He seemed like he got a sneak to leave out of there with his family. Laman was off shearing sheep. Rachel stole her father's household gods, small Gods's. And Jacob had concealed his plans so well that Laman the Aramean had no idea what was going on. He was totally in the dark. Jacob got away with everything he had and was soon across the Euphrates, headed for the hill country of Galilee. 3 days later, Laban got the news. Jacob's run off. Laban rounded up his relatives and chased after him. 7 days later, they caught up with him in the hill country of Gilead. That night, God came to Laban the Aramean in the dream and said, "Be careful what you do to Jacob, whether good or bad." So he ends up meeting with him and still saying stuff not the nicest because Rachel stole those household small GODSs from him. And so there goes that whole thing. And look at this right here. It says in Message Bible, Genesis 32. And Jacob went his way. Angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "Oh, God's camp." And he named the place Mahanaim. Then Jacob sent messages on ahead to his brother Esau in the land of Zer. So, it's different things going on, but let us pause for a second. Concerning deception. When you're dealing with deceivers, walk in wisdom. Be led by the Holy Ghost, number one. And God said in his word, "Be wise as a serpent and gentle harmless as a dove." Be specific. Ask a lot of questions. Until all loopholes, there's no angles, nowhere for them to come in with nothing. Nothing. You can't come in that direction. Can't come in that direction. Deception. Close loopholes. You can come up with ChatGPT can help you put stuff together. If he had ChatGPT, not saying they didn't have that then. We don't know. Listen, there's nothing new under the sun. But he could ChatGPT. Boom. And matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. It depends on your personality. Let the Lord lead you, right? But if God said, no, you go ahead and come up with it. I got you. I support you. Just, listen, I'm a big fan of, come hard the first time. Come so hard the first time that it shuts them down before they got started. And your name will be famous. People knowing, don't ever come that way. I will come so hard, so serious. Like, okay. Like, especially like, let's, like if Jacob had to do this whole thing over with Laman, he got a whole new life, right? And he had to, come across, he's in a new beginning. What happened to him that first round with Laman will never happen again. So that's the approach. Learning from other people's mistakes. You ain't got to be else. Operating as if the worst. Create that contract and agreement as if this person is the worst snake, shark, all combined. How would you write this? If this person is the worst, most crookedest person in the world, how would your contract look? Now, put it together. That's when you see documents and things people sign, and you gotta sign waivers and consent forms are pages long, and you need to look like you need a lawyer to understand it. You got a word for word. Why do you think they have those? You order something, you buy something, you sign up for some software program. What they have you do, you check off the consent. The iPhone you bought, everything. Consent. So that's so they can avoid being sued, avoid lawsuits. Because you can have a situation like McDonald's had years ago, if I'm not mistaken, it's a true story. A woman sued McDonald's, I think, got like millions of dollars because the coffee they gave her was too hot. TOOHOT. Sued the company because a staff worker served coffee that the coffee maker made and it was too hot. Sued. So if you're going to do a deal with someone, if Jacob had to start all over, he had a second chance. Let's just say he woke up and it was a bad dream. Now he knows what to do, right? Now he's headed to Laman's house. He gonna tell Rachel as soon as he say, listen, you my wife, and you listen. You make sure that wedding night, you in my bed. Do not let nobody tell you to go nowhere. Oh, yeah, your husband's gonna be there. No, you listen. There's my signal. You hear me? You listen. That conference, don't tell nobody. It's between me and you, because you know how your father is, Laman, right? Because I got word. I got dream now. I had a dream. See, yeah, I know Laman's messed up. Okay. So this between me and you. Now go, boom. You my wife. Okay, don't you got sit there and leave? Now how would I know that? Right? Okay. Then do what you got to do. Then listen, I want to marry Jacob. Telling Laman he want to marry Rachel. Listen, she's my wife. I don't want Leah. Shit. That contract would be like no other wife. Listen. So tell me, what's your custom, Laman? What Laman gonna do? See, that's the insight of having God, being an apprentice of God. God will give you a dream, a vision. He'll reveal to you the details. You see what I'm saying? You're ahead of the game. Come on, Jesus. You're ahead of the game. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things be added unto you. That's how we as Christians win every time. Because we get the insight before it even happens. We get the insight, and or in our prayers, the Lord prayed through us, already canceled it. Before it even happened, it got canceled. And it got canceled that way, and or both. Prayed against it, and then now we a step ahead. Now this is how it's gonna go. So okay, so then you say, hey, you listen. So Uncle, listen, Jacob saying, Uncle Layman, we're about to act this out. Uncle Layman, listen. I'm here. My parents sent me here to not Keisha. Now this is a story. This is Jacob's story. Make believe. Just if he had a second chance, how he could have went about things for us to understand wisdom and how to handle things. Now he had a dream. We saying it was a dream. He woke up like, oh shoot, this ain't gonna happen to him, right? This is horrible. He know what time it is with this man. Don't trust this nigga. You better have cover. Listen. So tell me everything about this place. Who's these people? Okay, all right. So what's y'all customs here? How you do things? What about weddings? And what about marriages? And what about this? Now, y'all got this written anywhere, documents, it in rule list? What y'all got here? How was someone, okay, you make agreements. How do you make your covenant agreements? Okay, all right, well, listen. I want to gather some of the elders in this neighborhood. How you doing? Hey, sir, listen. So listen. No, listen. So I want to just tell everybody here. Now, I know this my uncle got right. I want to say, Rachel, first of all, listen, in front of everybody. I don't want to say this in front of Rachel because I don't know. You told me your customs, right? Okay, cool. I'm letting you, Layman. I love you, Uncle Layman. Listen, everybody out here. Oh, my goodness. So I'm just saying, I'm going to work for Uncle Layman. I'm willing to work. You agree? You agree? If I can work for 7 years for your daughter Rachel to be my wife. Oh wow! Oh, that's wonderful. Wow! What you say, Layman? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna seal this right now. We got witnesses. Okay, great. So listen, I'm keeping listen. So that way, Layman, you know I'm giving you my word in front of everybody. So I'm not gonna play you. So don't even give me her yet. Don't let us consummate this marriage. She's my wife now, but we're going to consummate this where nobody else is going to get it. Y'all clear? This is my wife. Okay. And we're going to consummate this marriage in 7 years exactly. Now, how are we going to go about doing it? Now, the custom, what's the custom? Y'all tell me the custom here. Look at tough. Everybody got to say it at the same time. What's the custom of marriages and how does that go? Like, is it the younger daughter, the older daughter? How do y'all do it? Because I know you got Leah. Leah married? Anybody marrying Leah? Okay, so listen. Okay, so oh yeah, so the custom is the older daughter do gotta get married first. So what you gonna do, Layman? So hold on. So let me ask you a question, Layman. Now, Leah's not married. She's the oldest. Now, I'm not marrying Leah. I'm marrying Rachel. Jacob is saying, not Keisha. Okay. All right. So can I still? Because we just agreed to that. You didn't mention the custom thing. See what I'm saying? So this is what I mean. We got to get this squared completely away. Because I just said I'll work 7 years for Rachel. My parents sent me here for one wife. So I don't do two wives. I don't do most. I'm saying y'all know I don't do that. I do one wife. God's word, one wife. You understand? I'm following, being obedient to the instructions of my father. He sent me his blessing. He said to come here and get one wife, and that's Rachel. Okay, and Rachel knows already. Okay, I already told her we talked and kissed and everything, right? Okay, that we can remember with the water and all that other stuff. And I told Rachel she's my wife, and we're gonna have a conversation. And so we having this conversation. Now we have a conversation with everybody here. Okay, so then what you gonna do? I mean, we can break the custom. I mean, what you want to do? No, we can't break the custom. Okay, you can't break the custom. All right. Well, we need to find who's single. Ain't no guys who want to be with Leah. Well, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to pray to my God who gave me success to get here. We going to pray. Y'all want to pray? Let's pray for God to send a husband for Leah. Now, listen. God said yes. Because he said, ask, you shall receive. Amen? All right. Now, that's all set. 7 years. God already knows it because Rachel's my wife. Either way this goes, Rachel's my wife. Don't give me Leah. We clear? Don't put Leah in my bed. I'm not having two wives. Are we clear, Layman? You got that? And anybody else. Nobody else is going to be my wife but Rachel. Are we clear? This is what Jacob said. Are we clear? Okay. Now, if Leah don't get a wife, now I need to know now I'm going to leave. Oh, no. Because I came here for one wife. Let me leave. Go back to my mom and my dad and tell them, listen, Laman got 2 daughters, but the oldest, and I'm in love with Rachel. Rachel's my wife. So I can't marry Leah. So what y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to go somewhere else and get a wife? Because you said do not marry a Canaanite wife. Tell my brother he better let you marry Rachel. Y'all better figure they're gonna have to change something to Ben because we can't. No. All right. Well, you better tell Dad what y'all gonna do because I'm telling you. Because this Laman. So what I'm saying is this is what I was told. So what we're gonna do is either Rachel's my wife or I'm leaving. I worked 7 years, but I'm telling you, when them 7 years is up, the agreement is she's gonna be my wife, whether Leah got a husband or not. If you can't agree to that with the witnesses here, I'm leaving now. Or if I work these 7, matter of fact, let's do it this way. We're agreeing. Me and Rachel gonna consummate our marriage right now, and I'm gonna work the 7 years, or we can do half. How you want to do it? That or I'm out and God will give me another wife. And my parents are going to be very upset. And Isaac, my dad, is going to cry out to God. And he got a whole nother anointing. That's Abraham and Sarah. You understand? Oh, you understand. So one of y'all, who's single out here? You a single man? All right, you want to marry Leah? Okay, because what I'm saying is if you're going to sneak and put Leah in somebody's bed, don't put her in mine. Jacob is saying. Oh, man. Yo. Okay, yeah. So he's single, sneak and put Leah in his bed. And then they'll wake up husband and wife, and there you go. But don't put her in mine. I'm married to Rachel already. We just got to consummate the marriage. Jacob is saying, not me. You see what I'm saying? Those are just ideas. Straight up. Clear as day. All right, cool. Now that we're agreeing, because it was all this confusion, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know you, and I don't feel comfortable with this whole situation. So I know for a fact she's going to be my wife and continue to be my wife. Because now we got to come up. Now we in agreement with that. Cool. Rachel and I is going to consummate this marriage. Now I'm going to still work for you 7 years. I'm telling everybody that right now. I'm a 7 years. Here, I'm going to give you this. This is worth, okay, you see this? This is worth this, right? Okay, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to work, and I'm going to give you this. This is the value of this amount. I'm going to work. Okay, and I'm going to make sure this is blessed. God, you already know you got the word, right? God bless me, right? We blessed, right? Okay, so you're going to have more. It's going to be really wonderful. Now, the other thing we're going to discuss is that's my wife, and this is our life, and you don't control it. That's the other thing. Are we clear about that? Everybody's here. The town is here. The people's here. Okay, great. Rachel's here. She's my wife. That's why she sits there next to me. Okay, Leah, you clear, right? You don't ever come in my bed. You got that? Okay, you're going to be in his bed. That's going to be your husband, perhaps. Your dad and y'all going to discuss that. But if you're going to sneak and be in somebody's bed, then you're going to sneak and be in a single man's bed, and he going to have a wife and you will have a husband. We good? All right, we good. Now the other agreement we doing, we're going to clear this up. Rachel's my wife. Jacob speaking, not me. And listen, 7 years? If you renege it anyway, if this contract is broken, listen, we're going to cover all these bases, and she's my wife, and our children is our children, not yours, and you don't run nothing. This is no longer. If you feel like they need to be your wife, or I'm not speaking for Leah, she needs to be your wife, and you need to run everything, then I'm going to leave here, go back to my parents, and say, listen, I can't get a wife there. Jacob speaking and not me. Okay, we cool. Okay, so now when God tells me I need to leave here with my wife, we're going to leave here, and with all my possession that is ours. Oh, are you in agreement with that? Okay, great. We're going to be living here. Okay. You give maid servants to her? Honey, do you want that? Jacob speaking, not me. Okay. Well, that's fine. She helps out. That's how y'all, I think that's going to have a maid. Ain't nothing wrong with a maid. She help clean and help out with the babies. Me and Rachel gonna have. Not me speaking, Jacob. If Jacob had a second chance to do it all over again. So basically, you operate And you handle your business so hardcore in the beginning. So straight off, closing all loopholes, creating them contracts that if they had a change, remember Layman was already not the bestest. He was already treating his own daughter, treating him worse than strangers. So imagine now he done switched gears. Now he's worse. So you have loopholes closed. So you look at the worst. If this person is the worst, becomes the worst ever on this planet, they can't do shit. Close loopholes on all angles. Close, and shut and lock. Can never come through. That's it. Boom, 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 boom. Hardcore. Here goes this. I don't care how many pages it is. Boom, 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 boom. When I say hardcore, I'm talking about papers. It's an audio, Zoom, freaking a lawyer attorney present. Third party verification. Documented. Hard copies sent out of this country. Hardcore mail, sir. Look at international mail to somebody, whatever. I have a whole mail box secured, paying who knows how much in another country documents. In a secure box. Slash all other kind of ways. Backup documents. Ain't gonna be no, we don't see it's missing in action. No. Zero. Closed doc. I'm talking about close all loopholes. Hardcore contracts. Everything document. You can't come in no angles of any sort. And then what happens is those types of snakes are going to always be desperate and stupid. And they're going to create holes for themselves to bury themselves every time. They're going to create a hole, a burial right there, and then another one for them, and another one. And them loopholes, they can't do nothing. So all they doing is keep doing stuff to hurt themselves. That's it. And then you wait for the shebang, shabu, shabak. The finale, when they do the very last thing and God says, all right, now they done built up a good chunk of stuff for you to take everything they got, and you were just completely innocent. You ain't gotta say nothing. You did nothing. You did all the right things. You abide by the exact contract perfectly, like Jacob did. He did everything he said he was gonna do. But they did all of this messy stuff. It's clear. All Layman's messy stuff is right there. It's easily detected too. That's what happens when you operate in the light and you operate in integrity. The other person, that if they do the opposite, they're easy to detect. Easy. It's simple. Is you ain't even got to work harder. A 6-month-old can figure that. They were like, look. The triangle went in the square. It doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying? Like the color, no, that's yellow and that's yellow. They can tell the difference between the colors. They can tell the difference. It's right there. He said, Rachel, you gave him Leah. You said you agreed to 7 years. You said, okay, you're a great man for the job. You said too much. You said too much. You responded and you said so much. And then you understood clearly? He worked for the 7 years and you didn't pay him for 7 years. Why? Because what's the exchange for who? Rachel. You knew of this custom. You did not say it. It's written. It's right there. This whole thing is written out. God put it in His word. It's the whole agreement is right here. The whole world sees it and reads it all over the world. For all these generations, this liar. This nigga is known as a liar to this damn day, and we never met this nigga. When God exposes and shuts niggas down, it's shit. It's bad. We don't even know this man, and he got a bad rep still. Damn. That's something. God is not to play with. He is. Ooh-wee. Your story's being written. People gonna talk about you. At least if they lying, people know it's a lie. People ain't stupid. They know it's a lie. They know that person. So guess what? That person who got a good reputation still got the good reputation. Because everybody know the truth. Anybody stupid? When you shine the light and do what you're supposed to do, darkness will always be stupid and keep doing stupid stuff to screw themselves every time. And they're gonna keep thinking they got something because their pride. That pride, they got too much of it. They always got pride in it, and it just, if they don't get some light, they're gonna keep adding to that pride and just get worse and worse for themselves. Because they'll keep on doing worse stuff to prove a point. Prove a point that what? You a crook? Layman, you a crook. And then look at Layman lost everything. Yo, he lost all his money, like his daughter said. Like, yo, he ain't got no money there. All them 14 years this man slaved for you and he brought you increase. You understand how blessed this dude was? He couldn't even see the blessing he had. That's how dumb darkness is. He's doing freaking divination. Dumb as hell. Yo, you lost your daughters, your grandkids, your cattle, your money. The man worked for you, slaved for you for 14 years, brought you in nothing but increase. There's no expenses here, basically. This man worked, this man of God, where the blessings is overflow is on him. Anything he touches multiplies, basically. There's no loss, only increase. He took the women off your hands. One of them he shouldn't have. You get nothing but increase. And then you lost everything. He ended up with stuff, ended up with more, and then lost everything because of who he was. And he got a bad rep to this day. He ain't even alive. Anybody got something good to say about Layman? What good can you say? He was good at what he did, but he lost, so he wasn't good. He screwed himself. Who screwed him? He screwed his own self. His own daughters, I mean, damn, she stole that stuff from him. And look what they said about their dad. They're like, yo, he treats them worse than strangers. So strangers get treated better than him. They sneaking to get away from this man. Never wanted to go back. They never went back. From my perspective, like, yo, this man's left by himself, died by himself, nothing. Being greedy, prideful, evil, deceiving. Jacob said, what did you do to me? And you know, who wanted this to do to somebody and to be in their face every day? And then have him, you know you're a crooked person. You're going to have this man working for you like that for free for now another 7 years after all of that? And Jacob did it because guess what Jacob was doing? Shining the light. Proven every day for 14. He's able to say walking away. He's able to prove his innocence without even saying nothing. See what I'm saying? No one can speak nothing. But he made sure he left with a good reputation, had a good reputation. No one in that town, and Param, whatever it's called, no one could say nothing bad about him. Only good. Layman can't say nothing bad. I don't think if we went back and just read it, I don't think there's anything he could say bad. And when he thought he had something bad to say on him, he didn't. Oh, you stole, you tried to He was like, I didn't steal nothing from you. I did nothing right. You now look at your screwing. You see what I'm saying? And then God allowed it to happen too. He didn't even let Jacob find out about what his Rachel did. Because now when the conclusion of that whole conversation made Layman look worse. But then God gave some peace in it and allowed them to enjoy your evening, and he got to kiss his grandkids and his daughters goodbye. And still had the same type of spirit. Oh yeah, you make a promise right now, covenant with me right now on this monument here. After all of that, now you got this to say? And it seemed like Jacob just like, okay. Because Layman could still walk away and have nothing on him. That's what Jacob did. Layman still walked away even after all that, had nothing on. All right, you didn't see nothing of your stuff here. Look what you did. All right, cool. All right, we'll stay here and have food and you can kiss goodbyes and okay, you want to do a monument thing, okay, and a covenant with God, a promise, and God be the witness, okay. He just kept saying okay to it. Okay. He didn't want no other wives anyways, but Rachel anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Laban walks away with what? Nothing on Jacob. And that's how you move. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Was it hard? No. All it is, you just doing the right thing. That's it. You say you're going to do something and you do it. That's it. You don't even have to work hard. Being a deceiver and all these other games, they working too hard. We don't have to sit and remember nothing we did, try to come up with nothing. No, we sleep at night. We just do what God. Ain't nobody got time to be coming up with scams and schemes and another way and they're playing all these games, yo. That's too much work for no reason, and you lose at it. You do all that to lose every time. Jacob made sure this man had nothing on him. He didn't say, here's your daughter Leah back. I'm going to keep Leah here with them kids of hers. And her maid, Bilhah, y'all, they can raise the kids with you. Nope. He just went along. Yep. Okay. He just okayed the whole way through. He stood up and said, hey, what you do? You cheat. He got him to admit he did him wrong. So he wasn't quiet. He exposed him by simply the man exposing himself. Asking a question. What did you do to me? I told you that you deceived me. You. And then he had to admit to, well, this is our custom. Okay. And he just says, okay, well, that's it. You understand the lesson? Not the lesson, but a tool, a key, a skill set. You really don't have to work hard on like, oh no. All you do is, right, led by the Holy Spirit, whatever you agree to, whatever you are signing, whatever you are contracting or whatever, you do what you say on paper. Whatever you said in paper, whatever you agreed to openly, you fulfill what you said. That's it. You said this, okay. And then if anything changes, because nothing's perfect, you know what I'm saying? You still operate in integrity and you communicate that. Hey, I had to change. This happened, and so we can't do this now. So it's up to you if you want to continue. You still operate in a way of what? It's such integrity, you still have nothing on me. You still have nothing on me. Okay, so listen, I know we agreed to this, and I know I already paid for that, but I couldn't do it. It'd be great if you give me a refund, but it's up to you. You leave it up to that, and it's up to you, though, because I know, you got to follow. I'm not telling you to break, whatever, but I would love for me to have it back, though. But if your policy says otherwise and there's nothing you can do about it, just see what you can do. If you can't do nothing about it, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. Perhaps, things happen. I had to cancel it. There's nothing I can do. You see what I'm saying? I fulfilled my word. My word was true, but something came up, something happened. I couldn't do it, but, if you give it back to me, wonderful. If you don't, no problem. See what I'm saying? So either way, I'm not screwing them. I'm not trying to screw them. You see what I'm saying? You're not trying to screw them. You're not trying to screw her or him or whatever it is. But you let the Lord lead you. But if God said, hey, Keisha, if it was something of a huge, let's say a movie deal or something, I don't know. I don't even know, because we have our own everything, But I don't know. I don't really have anything in my life to really. But if someone I knew, well, I'll just say to myself, like, okay, here's this opportunity for something, and Keisha, make out an agreement or whatever. I go right on ChatGPT and I will approach it, especially if it's something I'm not familiar with. But usually a lot of the stuff I've already done. I kind of close loopholes anyways and you don't need a lot of wording to close loopholes. You don't even need a lot of words. You can say stuff like, and the owner, like me, let's say I'm the owner of something, and the owner have the right to change at any moment, and you have no choice but to do exactly what the owner says. Like, I could just say that, and that'll shut everything off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do whatever I say. and I can change at any moment. Like you can, and so you don't need a whole bunch of loopholes with a whole bunch of wording and a whole bunch of paragraphs and paragraph 5, 9, 6, 7. You can have the right 2 sentences, and that'll shut that whole thing down. And your ChatGPT, what word means all of this at the same time? You see what I'm saying? ChatGPT help you out real quick, make it real easy. I don't want no long, because I ain't about to read all that. Ain't nobody about to read. I ain't even about to read all that. I'm not about to. I ain't even gotta type it. You type in the ChatGPT, but I ain't about to read all that. So this is what I want. Bam. Shut this down. Boom. And that. Okay. Now and then I ain't lying. Okay, we sit down and have this meeting. All right. So this is the agreement. Okay, great. So you agreed to this. You agreed to that. Okay, that's wonderful. Boom, 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 boom. Basically, everything goes in the favor of the owner, Lakeisha. That's it. That's on the contract did. Everything goes in the favor of me no matter what. And Lakeisha's the only one that can change, add to it, take off of it at any moment she feels like it. And there's nothing you can do about it. Whatever she wants, she gets. And sign and date. Thank you. See what I'm saying? Like, yo, I didn't listen. I got experience. That's all I'm saying. I ain't got experience. I'm gonna say it like this. Listen, God. But I tell you what, you can word some stuff easy and simple on one page like it's worth 90 pages, and close more loopholes than 90 plus pages. And then I can seal it with, but the other party cannot do anything to make the owner, Lakeisha, unhappy, not unhappy, but cannot do anything that Lakeisha don't like. Or that person has to give up this, that. This whole contract is over if Lakeisha don't like anything this person does. In the contract, I can do that. I'm just saying, I could. All that's sitting there. And that's just one page. See that? You don't need a lot of pages. You don't need a whole bunch of writing. You don't need a lawyer. Listen. Hello? Boom, boom, boom. And you can't say nothing. And if Lakeisha doesn't like anything that you say, do, whether she in person, into her, it can't even come through another way or another party. If she hints it, you sure you want to sign this? Because if she even thinks it, honey, that goes on the contract too. If she hints or think it, okay, well, oh my gosh, this person, no, because she's saying that she thinks I stole. She's thinking that I'm not being positive. So she's saying that now I have to give up everything. Ma'am and sir, did you sign this? Yes. Did you print your name? Yes. Did you have it notarized? Yes. Did you understand this contract agreement? Yes. Was you forced to sign this? No. Well, this ma'am, you agreed to it. So you got to give her everything you got. Because, look, you agreed to it. And she named everything you got. Look, she said your bank accounts, your this, your that, your this, the this. If something was to happen to you, you got to give her all the money from you. Nobody else can get be the beneficiary to get that money. Like, she put everything in there. Your cars, your house, your keys, everything but your husband. That's it. And them bad kids you got. So I'm just saying. You agree? Okay. That's why they be saying them record deals and stuff. They be like, yo, man, them people. Yo, because people, if you hungry, you act all desperate. Don't be desperate. Trust God. Don't be desperate. Because that's when people try to take advantage of you, perhaps. But that's when people, you hear them like, yo, they sold albums and whatever, supposedly. And the artists made no money, but the managers made all this money. They signed the agreement. They can't fight. There's nothing they can do. They was like, yo, shit. You were so desperate, perhaps. Not sure if it's true or not. Wasn't there. Didn't read a contract or nothing. Didn't see nobody's paychecks or deposits. So I don't know. I can't say that. But just going by what people have said. Like, you signed the deal, yes. You agreed to this, yes. You said you would get 1% and they would take 99%. That's what the contract said. But sometimes what they do, they'll word it so fancy and make it long, drawn, and big, and they'll say, you know, they're gonna help you sell 1 million copies. So you say, oh, we sell 1 million copies, but you forget, and you're gonna get 1%. And then you forgetting, you agree to other paperwork contracts also was saying that you got to pay the distribution out of your money, not their money. Your money got to pay them. Your money got to pay for the transportation y'all get into your shows. So then you ain't got no money. You see what I'm saying? So they emphasize on the stuff they want you to buy into. But see, Layman. I mean, see, that's the kind of contract Layman would do. And he did worse than that. Jacob got nothing. But he didn't get nothing. He worked 14 years for a wife. But he agreed to the 7 years. That's how much he loved her. He felt that she was so worth more than that, you know, obviously. But Layman would have did some contract like that. And then Jacob would have been like, okay. And then Jacob would have made, he just want what he want out of it. So that's the other thing. The agreement that you come up with is making sure you get what it is that you are asking for, that you are in agreement for. That's the whole point. You're supposed to get what you're in agreement for. The agreement was for him to get Rachel. And Layman tried to play him. So now he had him slave another 7 years. He was being greedy. And he already knew that's what he wanted to do. Both. He knew this man would be good to them daughters of his. Make a good husband. But that's messed up. Leah was straight up love. You know, that nigga was not loving her at all. Rachel got all the love, yo. Contracts, agreements, boom. But so that's how I would do. You know, but you know, if that's how the Lord leads, everybody's different. I'm a prophet, I'm an apostle, so you know, I move a certain way. God moves in my life a certain way. But most people, yeah, I would be like, yo, go hardcore. To have that thing so sealed, they can't come in no directions. Zero. And then you could put in that agreement contract. If they try anything, like I said, then you'll lose everything. Plus you would have to do this, and boom. That's it. I will come so hardcore that it's like I'm a big fan of make one good example. Make one good example before it's even an example. Ain't nothing even gotta happen such an example. And listen, when you have that type, one thing, listen, no one's coming your way. No one's gonna come your way. No one is coming your way when you come with the law. Promise you. They're not. The law. The law of all laws. So that's what I come with, the law. I come with the law. I come with the word. I come with the word. What is the word? I come with Jesus. You get him. That's all. We ain't got to talk. We don't have conversation. You gonna talk this? You gonna see my King of Kings face to face. That's all. And he gonna talk to you. That's all. I ain't gotta say nothing. I'll be a children, having fun, living life abundantly with my husband, our family. And having a wonderful life, peace, joy, and happiness, and laughter. As you can see. That's it. Here's my case, Jesus. Thank you. Alrighty. So this was a good, nice lesson. It's 3:42. Trying to see if there's anything else. What is deception? Let's get at the meaning of that out of ChatGPT. What is deception? Let's see what ChatGPT says. And 10 ways to avoid being deceived like Laman did Jacob. Genesis. Now, that's a good way. Question. Deception is the act of deliberately misleading, tricking, or lying to someone in order to gain an advantage or hide the truth. Spiritually, it is often connected to the enemy's strategy, since Satan is called the father of lies. Let's go to Genesis 3:5 real quick, and we're going to continue with that there. This is a scripture I just happened to say in one of the videos or something. I kind of was using a story or just and that came out my mouth. So I said, well, let me see what that says, what this word says. 3:5. The serpent told the woman, "You won't die. God knows that the moment you eat from that tree, you'll see what's really going on. You'll be like God, knowing everything, ranging all the way from good to evil." Okay. The serpent, Genesis 3, verse 1. The serpent was clever, Message Bible. More clever than any wild animal God had made. He spoke to the woman, "Do I understand that God told you not to eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "Not at all. We can eat from the trees in the garden. It's only about the tree in the middle of that garden that God said, don't eat from it. Don't even touch it or you'll die." The serpent told the woman, "You won't die." Now, what did God say? Let's see, what did God instructed them? When God says something, do what he says. On the way to do what he says, if something or someone try to tell you the opposite of what God is saying to you, you stick with what God said. Deception is it's going to sound like almost God said versus straight lying. It's going to sound so close to it. If you find yourself, if you listen to the other versus God, and the result is the opposite of what God said, if the result is you then did what God said not to do, then now that's another way to know not to do it. Figure it out in your mind, envision and daydream it, or write notes and say, okay, God said don't do this. The snake is saying to do this. What will happen if I did this? Because the snake is saying God said this. But if I do this, then that means, if the person says if they did this, then that means what? You're doing what God said don't do. So that means what? Don't do it. Pay attention to the key theme, the key word, the key thing. The key. God planted a garden in the Eden. Genesis 2, 8-9. Then God planted a garden in Eden in the east. He put the man he had just made in it. God made all kinds of trees grow from the ground. Trees beautiful to look at and good to eat. The tree of life was in the middle of the garden. Also the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay, let's keep going. I want to get to the instructions. Right here, verse 16-17. God commanded the man, "You can eat from any tree in the garden except from the tree of knowledge of good and evil." He tells him it's the tree of what? Knowledge of good and evil. You can eat from any tree in the garden except this tree. Do not eat from it. The moment you eat from it, you are dead. You're dead. So you will die. God said you will die. The serpent says to her, you won't surely die. He mixes the truth with a lie. He says, verse 4 through 5, Genesis 3. The serpent told the woman, you won't die. God knows that the moment you eat from that tree, you will see what's really going on. You'll just be like God, knowing everything, ranging in all the way from good to evil. So good to evil is in there. The tree is in there. God is mentioned in there. But the key here, what does the enemy want? God is saying you will die. The devil is saying you won't. Tree, if you eat, you'll die. Tree, if you eat, you won't die. Good and evil. Good and evil. Eat. Don't eat. Die. Won't die. Who should you be listening to? Who made you? Deception. A lot of truth with a little lie. The worst deception is so much truth with a teeny weeny bit of lie. That $100 bill they gave you. That counterfeit. That if you don't got that special light, you ain't gonna know. It smell like it, look like it, feels like it, everything. You ain't gonna know unless you put it under a specific, not just any light, a specific type of light. Which I think sometimes they'll write something on it and then look into the light with it. You need Jesus to not be deceived. You cannot make it without Jesus. You will eventually be deceived without Jesus. You can't do it. There's no way. There's too many levels of deception. Soon as you pass one level, one next level, they'll try to figure out something else. All right. Well, okay. So let's do this. Let's find out what this. Let's get that recipe, that cake recipe. What flour she should get? Dang, we need to know. All we need to know is this one thing. We just need to know what butter she used. Okay, so you choose this one. Okay. We got the exact same ingredients she got. They try to make a step closer to deceiving. A step closer to deceiving. A step closer to deceiving. The only way you won't be deceived is God. Humble yourself. You got to remind yourself. Stay humble, be humble, and stay humble. And remind yourself. Deception is the act of deliberately. What does deliberate mean? I want to say done purposely. Well, it's, on purpose. Well, let's see what it says here. Means to do something on purpose with intent, not by accident. It's not by accident. You didn't do it by accident. You didn't just so happen to just was walking and had on a full set of clothes. You had on drawers, boxers, shorts, a suit, tie, belt, suspenders, suit jacket, coat, hat, gloves. And you just didn't so happen just was walking down the street and somehow, tripped off a piece of the sidewalk and ended up butt naked at 93 Jackson Road, Mississippi, in some woman's house that ain't your wife. See what I'm saying? You had to take a flight. You had to find her out. You had to find her name. You see what I'm saying? Deliberately. Laman didn't deliberately, accidentally, oh my goodness. Laman, he didn't have his glasses on that day. He grabbed the wrong daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, Leah ended up in the wrong bed at the wrong time. She's in the marriage bed. This is a specific place. Everybody knows what this marriage bed is. Deception is the act of deliberately misleading, tricking, or lying or to someone in order to gain advantage or hide the truth. Genesis 29:21-25. Laman deceived Jacob by secretly giving him Leah instead of Rachel as his wife. After Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, this shows how deception causes disappointment, delay, and strife. Possibly. 10 ways to avoid being deceived like Jacob with Laban. Number 1. This is what ChatGPT is saying. Number 1. Seek God's guidance first. Pray before making major decisions. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You know, sometimes you think, oh, that's family. You kiss them all. Hey, nephew, family. You know, oh, wow, this is wonderful. You know, you get around people, you get to that new church, you know, new people, new whatever. Everybody's smiling and happy and hugging. Oh. Listen, don't stop the praying first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God is right, told you the evidence to you. No matter who it is, where it is, what opportunity presents itself, listen. Pray first for God's complete guidance. Number 2, discern character, not just words. Laban spoke kindly but acted selfishly. Watch patterns. What are we talking about? Lord speaking to us about patterns. Watch patterns of behavior, not just promises. Watch patterns of behavior, not just promises. Pay attention to their behavior. What's their reputation like? You know, watch how they are with other people. That's another good one. How are they with other people? Not just one person, other people. Just watch it. Watch the patterns of behavior. One of my other favorite things is seeing how people are when they are angry. How do they act? And sad to say, some people, you ain't even got to wait for them to be angry because they stay at angry. Somebody pressed the button anger and they've been in that place. Number 3. Somebody said, which one you want? Happy, the blue button, green, joy, orange, you know, peace, you know, 5. The other color, yellow, angry. Gray, jealous. Which one you want? You click 5 angry. See what I'm saying? So you stay there. I guess people got colors we don't know about. We do know about. People got yellow. What? Yellow. What is it? Yellow, burgundy, maroon, and gray. Is that what it is? I don't know. Maybe orange. What about orange? Orange is okay. Is orange a good color? Is gray a good color? Is maroon a good color? What about burgundy? Oh, I got a good one. What about yellow? Purple? Maybe, not really. White? No. What about red? No, is it black? Yellow? Yeah, yellow's the one, huh? Yeah. Well, don't mention green or blue, please. Thank you. Pink is nice. We love pink too. And white. White is beautiful. We like white. We love white. We love green. We love green. We love white. We love white. We love blue. We love blue. And we love pink. And we love pink. Yeah. And we love all the colors, don't we? Because God made all the colors. So hello, we can wear whatever we want to wear, okay? We love flower dresses. They're nice. I love flowers. Ain't nothing wrong with a flower dress. Flowers is beautiful. Number 3, ask questions and verify details. What about, well, I guess what it is that you don't pick any of those colors with black. Because what does it mean if somebody got a pink pants but a black top? Or what does it mean if somebody got a black pants and a pink top? You understand? What does it mean if you add black to a solid color? Or what about the army fatigue? Now, what do you know what's up with that? sending out headaches. So I'm just saying. So what does it mean? White and black? What does it mean if a man got on white shorts and a black top? What does that mean? And what does it mean if somebody got a yellow top with black pants? Or yellow pants with a black top? Can you wear those colors with black? Are there rules? I mean, bumblebees is black and red. Birds got all the different colors on them now, right? So, okay. Is it okay to put birds on your clothes? Is that alright? Is that okay? Is there wrong with wearing flower dresses? And what is it? Is it okay to wear black and white, baby? That's the good question. Oh, but I guess it's really nice if you wear white and blue mixed together, bottom and top. That's a good one. White and green, bottom and top. Okay. White and pink, bottom and top. That's all good. That's good. Okay. White, pink, and all white. Okay. So we good. Okay. I think everybody's good. Guess what? You can wear what you want. Don't mean nothing. Ain't no gangs going on. Color gangs. All right. So let's. Number 3, ask questions and verify details. Jacob assumed he would get Rachel, but never confirmed. No, it was confirmed. so ChatGPT messed that up. Jacob assumed he would get Rachel, and it was confirmed, but I mean, so if you wanted to kind of go back and forth with ChatGPT, maybe ChatGPT is saying it was confirmed. I mean, it was. That's why we're talking about deception. He tricked him. But remember we talked about, okay, came back around. If he dreamt all of that happened, because you can have a dream like all that stuff that we just read. A person can have a whole dream about that. The Lord can give them, and that's their warning. Now they know what not to do and how to handle everything. See what I'm saying? Right. And so that's what a prophet would do. And that's how a prophet can give a person instruction. Listen, go there. But don't X, Y, and Z, and don't this, and then what the person got to do is do what? Follow the instructions. Isaac gave Jacob specific instructions. He said, a wife. So if Jacob had to do it all over, he would have probably handled it the way we kind of demonstrated with, bringing the people in the community and other people that's, part of this freaking so-called, what did he use? Vernacular. He said, custom. Okay, who came up with the custom? Who was the people that, all the people he invited. Let's invite them now. You see what I'm saying? So, ask questions and verify details. Don't rely on assumptions. Get clarity in writing or clear agreement. So there you go. Get clarity in writing. Now the agreement was clear, but he didn't have anything in writing. But they didn't do it like that. You see what I'm saying? They kind of did things, but we already said how we would go about it. You see how Laman responded with what he wanted to agree with when Jacob was leaving and left. Let this mind be. Let's do all this extra stuff he wanted to do. He should have did all that when this came to his daughter. If Laman, like I always used to say, if Laman was in Jacob's shoes, knowing how Laman is, Laman wouldn't have got screwed. Laman would have been being a snake. He would have operated like a serpent. That's why God said, "Be what? Wise as a serpent, but gentle as harmless as a dove." Think of the most crookedest, worst person, but you ain't crooked. And now how would they approach it? Okay. Number 4, be patient. Don't rush. Deception often works when people are desperate or impatient. See, what do we say? Jacob was like, all right, his 7 days completed. He wants to make love to his wife. He was like, he didn't, no more waiting. Like now, he is ready. You see what I'm saying? That's where you got to be. Because had he had that same level of kind of patience almost, where he was willing to wait them 7 years to consummate his marriage, if he just had a little taste of it, maybe perhaps he would have been more careful to not fall for the devil. Maybe he would have paid. Maybe that would have happened with Leah. Maybe he still would have chose Leah. Like, okay, if his Laman says no, you got to. You see, he says okay, but maybe he wouldn't have said okay in the beginning. Maybe we just sought God about no, But the way that came off at him, he's like, yo, what did you do to me? Like, that wasn't okay. He was never okay with that. I mean, he wasn't okay with that. I'll just say that there. It's clear. All right, so let's keep going. Because Laman, listen. All right, so deception often works when people are desperate or impatient. So be patient, don't rush. Jacob's eagerness made him vulnerable. Jacob's eagerness made him vulnerable. Now look what the ChatGPT just said. See what I'm saying? He was eager, made him vulnerable. He would have been a little more careful. Perhaps. Number 5, look for fruits, not appearance. Matthew 7:16. By their fruits you will know them. Consistency and integrity matter more than charm. Test the spirit behind actions. 1 John 4:1. Test the spirit to see whether they are from God. Not every open door is from God, and that's true. Number 7, get counsel from wise, godly people. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 11:14, like we were talking. So, in the multitude of counselors, okay, let's gather the people here. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, how should we do this? This is y'all's custom. Okay, but I can only get a wife. So, I want to make sure, you see what I'm saying? And then you have other people there, and people don't have, because of people having pride, they don't want to look bad. And they don't want, and darkness hate the light, so they don't like to get exposed. So that's the beauty of having others around. Okay, everybody's here. Even if everybody know they're all dirty, grimy people, they still don't like to be exposed. So that's another way to kind of handle it amongst others, because they're gonna do things the right way, because they don't want to be exposed. They don't want to look bad. Even the bad people don't want to look bad for some reason. For the most part, they don't want to look bad. Wise voices help you see blind spots. Get counsel from wise, godly people. Proverbs 11:14. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Wise voices help you see blind spots. Wise voices help you see blind spots. See, because God is in me, and God has given me wisdom in certain things, right? So I'm giving you wisdom to see. So if you came to me about a specific thing, I'll be able to see God, and God in me will then give you wise information so that you can see what the blind spots, close the loopholes. Wise counsel also can be people. Make sure we say godly citizens of God's kingdom of God. But godly people, wise counsel are people who have experience. Especially if they have hands-on experience. Don't be blinded by emotions or desires. Number 8. Jacob loved Rachel deeply, but his strong emotions clouded his judgment. Keep balance between feelings and discernment. He was, listen, He was ready. He was eager, and you know it, because for him to just speak like that to his uncle like that, he want to make love to his wife. His time is completed. Where's his wife? It seemed like he put that thing together that night. In which those moments when the enemy, a snake, sees that, they see opportunity. That person that comes in that place, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Oh my God. They're going to tell that person, what do you need? I need something to drink. I need something to eat. They're going to offer them, if they're a snake, not really a person of integrity and even in their business, they're going to offer them the most expensive thing. They're going to try to use that. Oh, I need, that they see that, oh, I need a new car. Oh my God, I got to get something today, right now. Anytime they see that type of thing, a snake is going to probably try to take advantage of that. Well, a snake does. That's what a snake does. Unless a person is coming to be wise as a snake, but gentle as a dirt. Don't be blinded by emotions or desires. Jacob loved Rachel daily, but his strong emotions clouded his judgment. Pay attention to red flags. Number 9. Laman had already shown trickery in other dealings. If someone shows dishonesty once, expect more. Now imagine that. If they show it once, dishonesty, expect more. Expect much more. Especially if they show dishonesty, lying for no reason, out of nowhere, once. It's one thing if somebody is in desperate need, right? They desperate, so they doing something they shouldn't do, and they lie a little bit to get something they really need help with, which they shouldn't do. But they're desperate for a place to live. They're desperate for food. They're desperate for something that is very, very serious. That there's one little piece they're missing. They got everything else, but there's one little piece they're missing. And they have an opportunity to get it by this little lie they have in their pocket. That's still wrong. You shouldn't do it. But that's one thing. But for someone to just out of nowhere, for no reason, no situations going on, they're not homeless, they're not dealing with certain things. Everything is just a happy old, wonderful, happy old day. And they just decide to say, just come up with a whole lie for no reason. That is serious. You definitely should expect more. Number 10, so much more on a level beyond Rikabaru Sanleo She. Okay. Number 10, stay rooted in truth and in God's word. God's word is the ultimate standard against lies. Yes. Psalms 119, 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. In Genesis, Laman deliberately deceived Jacob. Deliberately means what? To do something on purpose with intent and not by accident. He knew Jacob loved Rachel, but he secretly planned to give Leah first. ChatGPT. That wasn't confusion or an accident. It was intentional trickery for his own gain. Now let's put this here. Why did Leah also do it? See what ChatGPT says. Great question. And the Bible gives us some clues, though it doesn't directly spell out Leah's motives. Let's break it down. In Genesis 29, 21 through 25, Laman tricks Jacob by giving Leah instead of Rachel on the wedding night. Leah goes along with the plan, and Jacob doesn't realize it until morning. Why did Leah also go along with it? Obedience to her father. In that culture, daughters had very little to say against their father's will. Laman was the head of the household, and Leah may have felt forced to obey. Exodus 20:12 later emphasizes honoring parents and daughters, especially where under strong authority. Fear of shame. Laman said it wasn't custom for the younger daughter to marry before the elder Leah. Leah may have felt this was her only chance to marry and avoid being disgraced as the older unmarried daughter. So temptation. Leah longed for Jacob's love. Genesis. She named her sons based on the hope that Jacob would finally love her, desire for love and security. This shows her deep yearning for acceptance. Even she entered the marriage through deception, pressure, lack of power. Realistically, Leah probably couldn't refuse. Weddings were arranged, veils were born, But we already know, even with the fact of them going back and forth and Rachel clarifying about the fighting and the fighting oh and I mean, obviously there was an issue between her and her sister, and she knew what she was doing. I mean, she didn't have no problem leaving and with Jacob and Rachel and get up out of there away from her father either. So she knows how to have a mind of her own, because if she was so terrified or whatever, she wouldn't have just been a part of that either. So bottom line is, just like Adam and Eve, the devil didn't put a gun on their head. The snake just gave words. They could have gave instructions. She had to deal with the consequences of being, okay, you got what you deceived yourself into getting, but you're not even loved. Let's go into the Word of God. Did he ever get to a place to love her? I'm not, just, let's see. It seemed like, look at this one here. Listen. This is how much this is. Now listen to this. Genesis 33. Now he's headed towards Esau. Genesis 33, 1 through 4. Jacob looked up and saw Esau coming with his 400 men. He divided the children between Leah and Rachel and the two maidservants. He put the maidservants out in front. Look how he's treating them. So now, there's 400 men coming. If they were going to shoot and try to attack, the maidservants is going out first. They getting out of here quick. Leah and her children are next. He's showing who's number one here. The maidservants, y'all in the front. If they shoot out or something, the maidservants is out. We got to see what's going on. They're on the front line. They got to take the hits first. Then Leah and her children are next. You next. Rachel and Joseph last. He led the way, and as he approached his brother, bowed 7 times, honoring his brother. But Esau, now listen, they last. Rachel and Joseph is last. Then Jacob said, the children that God saw fit to bless me with. Then the maidservants came up with their children and bowed. Then Leah and her children also bowing. And finally, Joseph and Rachel came up and bowed to Esau. There's no on the same level here. There's no on the same level here. Let's go a little bit further. Jacob heard that Shechem had, Genesis 34, 5 through 7. Jacob heard that Shechem had raped his daughter Dinah, but his sons were out on the fields with the livestock, so he didn't say anything until they got home. Hamor, Shechem's father, went to Jacob to work out marriage arrangements. Meanwhile, Jacob's sons on their way back from fields. So look at Jacob is considering his daughter Dinah marrying a man that raped her. Now let's go back a little bit. Let's start at 1. One day, Dinah, the daughter of Leah, Leah had given Jacob, went to visit some of the women in that country. Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, Do not, anyways, who was chieftain there, saw her and raped her. Saw her and raped her. This is a stranger. This ain't even date rape. He saw her and raped her. Then he felt a strong attraction to Dinah, Jacob's daughter. Hold on. Into her. Then he felt a strong attraction to Dinah. So he saw her and raped her. Then he felt a strong attraction to her, Jacob's daughter, fell in love with her and wooed her. The first time they did it, he raped her. Shechem went to his father Hamor, "Get me this girl for my wife." Jacob heard that Shechem had raped his daughter Dinah. Same thing. Similar, just done aggressively. Leah, in the bed, raped Jacob and married him. Jacob heard that Shechem had raped his daughter Dinah, but his sons were out in the fields with the livestock, so he didn't say anything until they got home. Hamor, Shechem's father, went to Jacob to work out marriage arrangements. See how they cover this up? You see how they try to dress it up? Meanwhile, Jacob's sons on their way back from the fields heard what had happened. They heard what happened. They were outraged, explosive with anger. They're not handling this the way Jacob's going to handle this. Jacob seemed like he's okay with possibly... Let's see what they say. They were outraged, explosive with anger. Shechem's rape of Jacob's daughter was intolerable in Israel and not to be put up with. Hamor spoke with Jacob and his sons. "My Shechem is head over heels in love with your daughter. Give her to him as his wife. Intermarry with us. Give your daughters to us, and we'll give our daughters to you. Live together with us as one family. Settle down among us and make yourselves at home. Prosper among us." Shechem then spoke for himself, addressing Dinah's fathers and brothers. "Please say yes. I'll pay anything. Set the bridal price as high as you will. The sky's the limit. Only give me this girl for my wife." Now he's talking like this. He rapes her first, though. Jacob's sons answered Shechem and his father with cunning. Their sister, after all, had been raped, they said. "This is impossible." So now this generation is looking at this a little bit different. This is wrong. This is rape. Yo, no. Yo, but you know your mom did this? This is impossible. We would never give our sister to a man who was uncircumcised. We'd be disgraced. The only condition on which we can talk business is if all your men become circumcised like us. Oh, sorry. Jacob's sons answered Shechem and his father with cunning. His sister. So, we would take our sister. So, then we would freely exchange daughters in marriage. So they're saying you got to be circumcised. The young man was so smitten with Jacob's daughter that he proceeded to do what he had been asked. He was also the most admired son in his father's family. But you just raped this young lady. You could have just did things the right way, just like this. So Hamor and his son Shechem went to the public square and spoke to the town council. "These men like us, they are our friends. Let them settle down here and make themselves at home." Now, see, what could have happened is like how they do, like Laman. Possibly. Laman just did it in a different kind of way. But he didn't have sons, right? It appears he had daughters. If he had sons, he probably would have had his sons do just like that. You want a wife, you see her, that's the one you want, rape her, and then the family have no choice but to marry her off to you. He just did the same thing with Leah. She's just a female. So he had to do it in a deceiving way. He thinking that's Rachel. And she can't fight Jacob and beat him up and take it and get him hard. He ain't gonna get hard with her. He gonna get off with his wife. So he thinks it's his wife. Same thing. She wants to marry him. She wants to be loved by him. They like, yo, he's talking like a whole different person. And he's supposed to be the favorite. So it's almost like, he did that so like nothing was nothing. Where's the consequence at here? So that's why the brothers is angry. "But these men will only accept our invitation to live with us and become one big family on one condition, that all our males become circumcised just as themselves are. Just skim it down a little bit. Everyone who was anyone in the city agreed with Hamor and his son Shechem. Every male was circumcised. 3 days after the circumcision, while all the men were still very sore, 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon, Levi, Dinah's brothers, each with his sword in hand, walked into the city as if they owned the place and murdered every man there. Okay? That's how they handled it. That's rape. You trying to marry, you trying to dress it up and be all pretty and all loving, I'm in love, you raped her. They're not getting past that. They want judgment. They also killed Hamor and his son Shechem, rescued Dinah from Shechem's house, and left. When the rest of Jacob's sons came on the scene of slaughter, they looted the entire city in retaliation for Dinah's rape. Okay? They wanted judgment. You trying to dress it up as rape. Leah, you try to dress it up. You raped Jacob. Dinah got raped, your daughter. Your only daughter got raped. And then they try to dress it up. But that generation, them sons y'all got killed. All of them. It appears. They looted the entire city in retaliation for Dinah's rape. Looted. I want to say they destroyed everything too. Flocks, herds, donkeys, belongs to everything, whether in the city or the field. They looted it. They killed them and took. Shit. Them niggas. That's all I'm gonna say. Them men, I'm sorry. And then they took all the wives and children captive and ransacked their homes for anything valuable. And took all their wives and children captive and ransacked their homes of anything. Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You've made my name repulsive to the people here. These Canaanites and Perizzites, if they decided to gang up on us and attack, as few as we are, we wouldn't stand a chance. They'd wipe me and my people right off the map," they said. "Nobody is going to treat our sister like a whore and get away by it." That's what they said. Because what do they want? Judgment, yo. Jacob, listen, when a person has been raped and then in an environment of that's normal, they think they cover it up. They think that that's okay. That let's just go about it this way. Them brothers is like, no one's gonna do this and get away with it. They're not getting past the fact that no, we don't. So who cares about dressing it up and making it a wedding now, making it a wedding and a marriage, and everyone wants to get circumcised now, and everybody's willing to just be a big family now. Everything's working together for the good though, because now they're about to head somewhere else, and the next thing you know, Joseph is going to be in charge of all of Egypt and save this whole world from famine. So it's a lot going on. But they're like, no, they want judgment. Nobody's going to just do that to their sister and try to clean it up and make it look pretty and say now it's a wedding. Nah, ain't going to be no Leah situation. We ain't going to Leah rape their dad and be in a bed and act like you Rachel, and they dress it up all these years. Now they all sons out here acting a fool and killed the whole town almost. Shit. They said nobody is going to treat our sister like a whore and get by with it. And that's the only girl too. That's all it is boys. If I'm mistaken, I think all boys. Genesis 35. God spoke to Jacob, "Go back to Bethel, stay there, and build an altar to the God who revealed himself to you when you were running for your life from your brother Esau." Jacob told his family and all those who lived with him, "Throw out all the alien gods which you have." Now look, they got small alien GODS's. Throw out. So they got all kind of sin stuff going on. So remember, somebody stole some household gods, small GODSs. And now Jacob told his family and all those who lived with him, who's living with him, throw out all the alien GODSs, small, which you have. Take a good bath and put on clean clothes. We're going to Bethel. I'm going to build an altar there to the God who answered me when I was in trouble and has stuck with me everywhere I've gone since. Because now they're in desperate need now. Jacob buried him. They turned over to Jacob all the. Thank you, Jesus, because we was trying to find out. I was trying to find out. We were trying to find out where it happened to the small households, GODSs, small GODSs, that Rachel had stole from her dad. Okay, so here goes. We obviously, maybe that's it, and maybe they add some more to it. So they were still doing stuff. And obviously Jacob told his family, but that wasn't what he was doing. It don't seem like as we told them. They turned over to Jacob all the alien GODSs, small, they've been holding on to, along with their Lucky Charm earrings. Jacob buried them under the oak tree in Shechem. Now that's how you gotta do. Then they set out. A paralyzing fear descended on all the surrounding villages, so that they were unable to pursue the sons of Jacob. Jacob and his company arrived at Luz. This is Bethel, in the land of Canaan. He built an altar there and named it El Bethel, because that's where God revealed himself to him when he was running from his brother. And that's when Rebekah's nurse, Deborah, died. She was buried just below Bethel under the oak tree. Just to skim down, God revealed himself once again to Jacob after he had come back. Okay. Yep, I am the strong God. I have children, flourish, a nation, a whole body. So listen to this. From now on, your name is Israel, God wrestler. God continued. I am the strong God, have children, flourish. A nation, a whole company of nations will come from you. Kings will come from your loins. The land I gave Abraham, Isaac, I now give to you, and pass it on to your descendants. And then God was gone. Again, God was gone, ascended from the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a stone pillar on the spot where God had spoken with him. He poured a drink offering on it and anointed it with oil. Jacob dedicated that place where God had spoken with him, Bethel, God's house. They left Bethel. They were still quite a ways from Ephrath when Rachel went into labor. Hard labor. They were still quite a ways from Ephrath when Rachel went into labor, hard labor. When her labor pains were at their worst, the midwife says, "Don't be afraid, you have another boy." With her last breath, for she was now dying, she named him Ben-Oni, son of my pain. That's what she named him. But his father named him Benjamin, son of good fortune. Rachel died and was buried on the road to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set up a pillar to mark her grave. It is still there today, Rachel gravestone. Israel kept on his way and set up a camp. Now look, she dies right after. Almost you want to say all right after, right? They turned over to Jacob the alien gods they've been holding on to. You understand what I'm saying? Now that's what I was looking for. What happened to it? She died right after that. She right after that. Them household gods. They had them charms and all this other stuff. So obviously the stuff she stole was there, and maybe they added more to it. She dies right after that, giving birth. It doesn't say anything that she admitted, All that stuff was popping off. Jacob went through a lot. He went through a good amount of things, though. He did. Great life, though. Great life, but he'd been through something. Great life, wonderful things, powerful experiences. But he went through something. He did struggle at times. He had to face some serious things. He had the name changed, but look at today. They're still a nation called Israel from his name. Descendants. Powerful. How many people can say that? When you've been through great things as a man or woman of God, be ready and prepared for great blessings. Did Jacob know we was going to read about him? No. In the Bible, and it would be a 66 book called the Bible, and he would be mentioning it. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, Jesus, for justice. When they went through there's really no one in the Bible, really. Do your research, just think about it. I mean, just anyone mentioned in the Bible that, they're in the Bible. Like, they're in the Bible. These people, this is a long time ago. We're being inspired, and I'm talking about the ones who God used and the ones that God used to bring him glory, Look how greatly God blessed them, and on top of it, some of them got books in the Bible. Moses, baby boy. Just amazing. If what you've been through has been something that God has allowed, expect such an award. Expect such an award. Expect such great blessings. Thank you, Jesus, for justice. That generation, them sons was not, no one's gonna do that and get away with it. I mean, he just saw her and raped her. like that's what they do. And she just going along with it. She ain't saying nothing. He's in love. He wants to get married to her. You raped her. Now you in love with her? And you want to marry her? That man died. They killed him. They're like, no, we want judgment. We want justice for this. Nobody's gonna treat their sister like a whore and get away with it? Jacob responded in a way like he was okay with the wedding, perhaps. Read it a little more detail. Try to handle it. He's thinking handle it in a different way to bring peace, Like he handled situations with Laman concerning Leah. Like, well, I gotta get Rachel, so I just, nah. Them sons said, hell no. You're gonna get some judgment today. And they decided they're gonna put it in their hands. And they did, literally. Physically went and killed that whole spot and didn't care. And then guess what? That then drew Jacob to go before the Lord in a deep, serious way. And to get all them household gods out of that camp. And then his wife Rachel died, who stole them household gods from her daddy. God obviously revealed, this was going to get rid of that stuff. Nah. Clean house. But now, them brothers now know how to kill. Now they have this killing spirit. They got this. They know they killed and got away with it. Or you can say judgment, but bottom line is they still took life. So now they got a brother. So what's going on? What's going on, brothers? They was about to kill him, Joseph. Same brothers that did that. Now Joseph, I don't know, was Joseph in on that whole killing too? Shoot. I don't know. Was Joseph still little or was he big? Because I'm saying, was it all of them? This is like Bible study, y'all. It's just the word teaching, but how can you teach without going in God's word? You gotta go in his word. Because now we need to know that. Or maybe just me. So, we're trying to figure out. God spoke to Jacob, go back to Bethel, stay there, and build an altar to the God who revealed himself to you when you were running for your life from your brother Esau. Jacob told his family and all those who live with him, throw out all the alien gods which you have. I want to know who Well, Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have made my name repulsive to the people here. So it seemed like they was leading Simeon and Levi, but let's just see who else was a part of that. And they took all the wives and children captive and ransacked their home for any valuable. They killed and took and held the wives and the children captive. They was angry. They also killed Hamor and his son Shechem, rescued Dinah from Shechem's house, and left. When the rest of Jacob's sons came on the scene of the slaughter, they looted the entire city. So hold on, let's go. So let's see. 3 days after the circumcision, while all the men were still very sore, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each with his sword in his hand, walked into the city as if they owned the place, and murdered every man there. So it was just two of Simeon and Levi. And then when the rest of Jacob's sons came on the scene, Jacob's sons, they didn't just leave nobody out now. And now Benjamin's in the womb of Rachel, so Benjamin had to do with that. When the rest of Jacob's sons came on the scene of slaughter, they looted the entire city in retaliation for Dinah's rape. Flocks, herds, and Jacob said to Levi, Simeon, so is the rest of the sons. So Joseph must have been in there too then. I don't know how old he was, but I'm just saying he must have been on it. Now look at that. Finally, Jacob made it back home to his father Isaac at Mamre in Kiriath Arba, present-day Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had lived. Isaac was now 180 years old. He lived 180 years old. Isaac breathed his last and died, an old man full of years. He was buried with his family by his sons and Esau and Jacob. He was buried with his family by his sons, Esau and Jacob. So his father died. He was able to see him again, and with his his wives and children. He said wife and came back with 4, if you want to include the maid servants. So meanwhile, Jacob has settled down where his father had lived, the land of Canaan, Genesis 37. This is the story of Jacob. The story continued with Joseph. 17 years old at the time, helping out his brothers and herding the flocks. These were half his brothers, actually. The sons of his fathers. So, look at Israel loved Joseph more than any of the other sons. See, he loved his mother so much, he even loved his son more. It's just, they know it too. And that's probably why they were so angry about that whole rape, perhaps. Knowing that's what happened with their mother. And why she's unloved. They know, they observe, they know things. People talk and they find out. Joseph getting all this favor. It's clear Joseph loved him more than the rest. And it says it too, right? Didn't we just see that? Read it. Go back and read it, y'all. We ain't gonna read it some more right now. Go back and read it. Joseph had to be in on it. The whole taking the valuables, the belongings apart. But Simeon and Levi was the one who killed. Just 2 of them killed those men. Because they all got circumcised, so they were sore and couldn't defend themselves. Shit. They destroyed them. Judgment. They wanted judgment. Is that right? So they had wanted to marry her off to this man that raped her? Did she not have a choice in the matter? It didn't seem like it. I don't know. Go back and read it. What should have been the consequence of the actions? He's being rewarded with a bride, a woman he raped, as soon as he saw her? What if she was married to somebody? You understand what I'm saying? Who said she was single? Who said she was single? And I ain't worried about stuff like that. I'm married. But I ain't worried about that. But we don't put ourselves in a vulnerable situation. But God is with us. But me personally, ain't nobody touching me. Trust me. Ain't nobody touching me. God ain't gonna let it happen on so many different levels. And if he wants me to handle it myself, I will handle it in such a way. First of all, shit. You know how much I got built up in me in the first place? That I need to be in God's presence to keep my school down, nigga. Shit. Nigga. Don't let nobody give me a reason to act crazy and do some shit and know I have the right to. Nigga. By the time somebody will be done, shit. I don't know what the hell might happen. Shit. Nigga. I'm in my house. First of all, shit. I don't even want to say. But when I say, if God said, Keisha, I want you to handle it, nigga. A nigga wouldn't get close. But if I ever hinted, they will receive such of so much that so many niggas should have been getting, nigga, that they will get it, or whoever will get it so horribly, and I will be free and happy because, damn it, self-defense. It would be extreme. I will make sure it will be ridiculously extreme. And I don't got a weapon in my house on purpose. And that's on purpose. But I don't even need one. With these claws and these teeth I got, just to start with, nigga, it's too much in me for me not to go so far. It would not be good for me to explain this. I got way too much. I promise you. It will not be good. And that's just me personally. I can hold mines all by myself without a gun in my house, and I don't even need a knife. And I will never be killed, nor will I die. And it will never happen. By the time I would be done, and I call the cops, yep, come get them. Come get this, whatever this is right here. Come get them, yep, I got a camera anyhow, right where I'm at. So that's my proof. Shit. Nigga, do I need to talk about household cleaning products? And spraying eyes with bleach and shit? And taking my curling eyes and doing shit with? I'm just saying. I'll hold them off until you get here, cops. But I got a couple of things to do. What you want me to do, officer? I'm just saying. I got some stuff built up now. I can call the cops now. I will call. I will get home. But I got a camera here. Shit. But that's why I ain't got to do nothing. God got it. Because God knows. He knows how he built me. And listen, people know. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know what be happening, but I turn into something else, nigga. It be some other shit going on. It must be God in me. Because I don't even be knowing. It be like I woke up someplace. I be like, yo, what happened? The person went in the ambulance? Shit. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, God takes over. You see how he takes over in other ways? He takes over. I'm fast. It's nothing I can't do. And I'm strong. And I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Nigga, I just like, oh shit. Call the ambulance. And I'm not touched at all. Niggas want to be a female in a day? Or what? with my teeth, perhaps. Or I got some angels doing it for me. I don't know. But that's right. Their dicks don't work now anyway. So that wouldn't matter. You gotta have one of those. They ain't even got one to work in the first place. So that's that. Be careful. Y'all don't know. Listen. Don't ever just look at somebody. Was it a movie I watched? An old lady. Was it? What was it? I'm trying to think. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a movie. Oh shit. Damn, maybe I should have watched it. No, that woman was crazy. No, she was actually the crazy one, but she was the bad guy. She was the bad guy though. It's sad to say that open. No, but there was these group of kids that was bothering her though. But the dude took care of them. But he should have been helping her because she killed him. she was not a good guy. I'm a good guy. I'm a good lady. She was not. She was the bad guy in the movie. She was the bad person in the movie. But she was an old lady. You hear me? But strong, and she was not nice. She was a straight murderer for real. And buried this dude and put a tree right over him. He's all up under that ground with a beautiful, pretty tree right on top. Yo, that movie was crazy. She was living her best life too. You care? Nobody know where her first her. She killed the neighbor, just suffocated her. Damn. That was a crazy ass. Listen, I'm telling you right now. Leave them older women alone. No. Don't ever think. Anybody, listen. Somebody crazy as hell. I can't say certain things I thought a long time ago. My horny self, I said, shit. I gotta walk in holiness, so damn. But what if somebody, I'm saying, I ain't do nothing. So I'm saying. But I'm married, so hello. My husband ain't going for that shit. But I wouldn't do that anyway, because then that's still in your heart, you know what I'm saying? But, that's just to let you know how a little crazy some people can be. Shit. Might do somebody a favor. Shit. And then somebody get mad afterwards, nigga. And that's the problem, the other problem. Shit. She wake up like, who the fuck up? Motherfucker. Now I came to my senses, nigga. Well, you better make it real good, nigga. You know, if your shit's fucked up, on top of it, nigga, I'ma get you for that. I'ma get you for that shit was whack as hell, nigga. You wasted my motherfucking time. God, fuck you. God damn it. Shit. I'ma get you for that, motherfucker. You fucking up. You don't know how to fuck me, bitch, nigga. Hell motherfucking no, nigga. You don't waste my motherfucking shit, nigga. But rape is bad. Don't, that's nothing to joke about. But I'm just crazy as hell. But shit, what if that nigga shit wasn't good though? Raped her? Shit. And then the shit was whack too, nigga. Leah got Lake Jacob didn't even want her ass. Stuck with her shit. Damn. That's why you niggas rape, cause that shit's fucking whack, nigga. The bitches don't want them. Damn. The fucking prostitutes don't want the niggas either. The motherfucking prostitutes and now, nigga, it's $200, but no, I'm booked for the day and shit. Not me, ain't no problem, just talking. I guess it's /comedy out, but not shit. No, I'm serious though. I'm like, yo, why is somebody rape nigga? These motherfuckers that sell their ass. They've been selling their ass since biblical times. Your shit's that fucking small and whack, nigga. The fucking nobody wants it. The niggas that sell it don't even want it. Damn. A horny bitch will kill you, nigga. If you don't give it to her right, nigga, if you try to take it. Shit, she might marry your ass if it's good and shit. Damn. She might say, fuck that shit, nigga. Let's get married now, nigga. I got a church, shit. We get that shit popping now, nigga. And get in the bedroom, shit. Nigga, all you had to do was say the fucking word, shit, nigga. I've been waiting. Shit. But you better know what the fuck you doing now. Shit. You can't even look at me, nigga. You can't even talk. You already fucked up because your ass is aggressive and shit, dumbass. You dumb as fuck. You know you came to the wrong motherfucking house with that bullshit. I'm the last motherfucking person you should have even thought that shit with, nigga. You want to receive Jesus now before you leave here? Because I'm going to have the angel come slay your ass, nigga. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. But yeah, I believe in judgment. Indeed. And you going to be found guilty, nigga. Because you don't know if a bitch is on her period or not, dumbass. Okay, shit. There's some others. Listen, you don't know if these females got stalkers and stuff. You don't know if folks got stalkers, nigga. They see you trying to come through, them niggas is stalking. Them niggas is lurking right there, nigga. They gonna get you before you even get in there. She got her own security she don't even know about. They fucking stalkers. You gotta get past them niggas. They gonna get you in your sleep, nigga. They gonna pull up on you, and she gonna be there too, nigga. She gonna be in her fucking dreams looking like, what the fuck you doing, bitch? Nigga. Niggas on their period and shit, nigga. You guilty, nigga. She gonna come for everything you got. And it was whack, nigga. Shit. Hell no. Rape is bad. If it ain't valid consent, it's rape. Oh, she had a dress on when I went over there. Bitch, niggas go to the back, walk outside wearing poom-pooms, nigga. Dina was outside doing mind her business. Most likely she was not even wearing nothing to show nothing. This nigga just saw her and raped her. Rape is rape. No excuse this. You ain't got no, so all you see is somebody just, nigga, wears dresses. People wear what they want to wear. Look, you don't go in somebody's house. You don't go somewhere and be like, oh shit, that motherfucker want to have sex with me. Like what? No, you're just trying to find a reason. No. You don't just accidentally rape somebody. Shit. That means you look for opportunities to rape. You make sure you position yourself in workplaces and jobs. But you can't rape because your dick don't work. So it don't matter. The wee-wees don't be working. The ungodly wee-wees don't work. I'll say it that way. The wicked wee-wees don't work. Rapists' wee-wees don't work. See, I released that. Yes, that is so. Rapists' wee-wees don't work. Can't get hard. You're going to be sitting there. You can't do nothing. And she's going to clock you upside your head. What you going to do? Use your knees? Your testicles? What you going to do? All right, y'all. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is now. We've been doing this for 3 hours and such, and it's 5:08. Rape is wrong. Rape is wrong. All kinds of them. No matter how it's done, it's wrong.